Lady night, what? What is it? It's ladies night?
Ladies night. Hey, hey. We keep rising to the side.
So ladies night, Wednesday night, Tuesday night? Ladies night? What? Ladies night? Somebody receive it. Hey! It's ladies night, and I'm feeling fine. Yes, it's ladies night. Oh, what a night, what a night. It's ladies night, and we're feeling right. Oh, yes, it's ladies night. Oh, what a night. Hey! Hey! Welcome everybody! What we do? Cut it out, buddy? Yeah, this morning, we need some nights, some days. Got your drink? It's late on ladies' night? Yes. Me might be the cheer to ladies' night. You do cheer to ladies' night. Like. I was gonna say. So that's what we need tonight, the rainstorms. Okay. Welcome. Tuesday night. This Tuesday is ladies' night, as you can see. Yay for the ladies. All the hard workers, all the mommies, all the wifeys, all the girlfriends, the daughters and sister friends, everybody. All the ladies. Ladies' night. So tonight we're going to talk about, is he planning for you or is he playing with you? Right? So the men are here, or no men here, so we can be very transparent.
So we can speak openly.
Candid, yes. So as you know, I am your host, La'Tanya Moore-Newsome. To the left we have
Ashley.
And we have a very special guest,
Jessica.
Jessie and Ashley. So welcome, Jessie, welcome. Yes, we're gonna kind of talk about some things. So with opening, I kind of want to say, look, there's always a structure for everything. There's a structure. There's either a mission statement. There's gonna be a way, a order, in the form of how we do everything, anything and everything. So when we get away from that order or that mission statement, etc., that structure, then we kind of mess it up a little bit. As you know, Jay would like to say, the blueprint. He loves to use the blueprint. You get away from the blueprint, then things don't go in order. So what we want to do is kind of dive a little bit into not only how the men are functioning with us these days, but also how we can maneuver around the way that they're functioning with us. Okay. So I always want to start with, for the most part, like self, right? Our self-love. Because without us loving ourselves and knowing what's going on with ourselves, we couldn't possibly love and know what's going on with the men, right? With the men. So there's a lot of things that as women, we kind of think that because we're not subconsciously thinking about it or consciously thinking about it, that the subconscious is not holding it and harboring it in, which in turns comes out, it comes out during relationships of all different kinds. The relationship personal with the males, the friendships, what have you, your parental relationships. So we're going to kind of touch at first on some things like that, and we'll start maneuvering into how the men are functioning. Because to be honest, even doing this and knowing relationships and having this long-term successful marriage, they're still complex. Like, they're complex. So we're gonna get into our amazing men and see how things work. And I think some of us have some self-love questions on that. But I want to know, Sue, like, let me start, I guess, Ashley, what do you feel is your most attractive physical feature?
Everything.
My underestimated ability, like my mind, like people don't look at me and think that I'm as smart as I am. So once I open up my mouth and actually get to talking to them, and like that draws a lot of people in more than my looks. So I would say definitely the way that I think is your most attractive feature. Okay. Yes.
It said physical.
I knew that was coming.
Well, I would say that would be like my legs, my lips, because I love my lips. I love my legs. So those are. I always say I got them Tina Turner legs. But I'm gonna put mine on Lil one day. When I found out she put some insurance on hers, I said, "Oh, the leg, right?"
Girl, back then I could have. Yeah,
I always get compliments. Yes, like even though I feel like my lips is big, I always get compliments on my lips. I did not like them at first, but I grew to love my lips. Okay. So my legs and my lips.
Legs and lips. Okay, leggy lips.
Leggy lips.
Leg Avenue. Lips. She the reason why we get the logo's lips. I love that. So Jessica, what is your most attractive feature?
Ooh, I get a lot of compliments on my hips and my legs.
Girl,
baby. I can't. And let me tell you,
the legs, the hips we got going on. I don't know what I'm
talking about. Baby bearing thighs. Somebody lied. I tell you, they just good for the carrying, like physically carrying. But these things, pregnancies was horrible. They was horrible pregnancies.
These lips, I definitely can tell. Like, okay.
And I believe it or not, I have a gap, and I get a lot of compliments on my gap.
But you know what? The gap does stitches.
It always be like, like when I was younger, people was like, "Are you gonna close it?" But if
mouths don't get fed.
Right. If I was to compare the people that told me to close my gap versus the compliments I get, this is
that's you.
Yeah,
that's your signature.
They say the bigger the gap, the bigger the wisdom. Like
they do.
It's a saying that they have.
I hear different things over there.
So it's a couple different.
What's some of the different things that you heard?
Oh my goodness! So people from the Caribbean, they tend to say one that I am very promiscuous, but I'm not, or I'm fun in the sheets. But that's for me to know, you not to know. So I get that, and then a couple people have told me that Cleopatra and Nefertiti had gaps.
Yes.
Yep.
And I've been told that people would get lie, and I deny that.
Okay.
Yeah, they say people with gaps lie. I said they do. I don't lie.
It's like people little ears still. They stingy. People little ears are stingy. My brother was stingy as hell. He's a counselor. He had tiny ears too. Yeah, they stingy.
Yeah.
So and then because Ashley didn't. She never like accepted her lips, and I used to be like, honey. You know what I would do that with?
I know, but it took me until after I had kids to really like my lips. But
girl, that's when
at first I was like when I was younger, I felt like my lips was excessively big. Like, but now as I get older, I feel like they fit my face.
And put some lips.
And I keep just Carmex on them because they be getting wild. I be like, oh God.
So, let's see. My most attractive feature is gonna be for me.
I know.
It's my breast, really. Mm-hmm. You don't say my tongue.
No, girl.
I was about to say the breast.
They don't know that until you pull it out. They don't know that until you pull it out. But if they don't pull it out, when you let me tell you, I walked in. I was like, "Can I have some?"
It's always for me. It's like the breast for me, and then. I mean, we saying physical. Yeah, I think that would be it. Now, my legs used to be the bomb. Actually, I'm going back to the gym tomorrow. My legs used to be.
I'm going back to the gym tomorrow.
My legs used to be the bomb.
We're going to see how long that lasts.
Yeah. We going. Oh, it's lasting. We got that. I got to fit in the dresses and stuff. Right. So, next question. Why do you love yourself?
I love me because I've been with me all my life.
Good.
No, but
that's good. That was good.
I love me because, not that I would really compare myself to others, but when I look back at the things that I've had to deal with and the obstacles I've had to overcome and my accomplishments, I actually admire me too.
Yes.
And I know as black women we are all strong, but what's admirable about our strength is no one gets to see when we're broken. And no matter how broken we are, we can get behind the closet, fall apart, put ourselves back together again, and won't nobody even know. Like, y'all ain't even know today I had a whole crying session about 2 hours before I got here.
Damn, we definitely.
But that's one of our strengths, and that's
and pick it up like we in a like we just got.
That's a sign of being crazy.
That's a sign of being strong.
I know, yeah.
That's perseverance, no baby.
Speaking of strength, I'm not gonna say hate because it's such a strong word, but I don't like when people say, "Oh, you're so strong."
Girl,
I don't like it. I'm like, I'm not strong.
I just know how to handle it well.
Yeah,
I'm so broken because they feel like you're so strong. They feel like you don't need help. I'm like, wait a minute, you putting extra bricks on the back,
right?
And they're like, but you so strong,
girl. You'll be strong too if you packed all this. What is it? Something about.
I can carry my cross. I don't want your cross.
Right. Yeah, it does get overbearing. So why do you love yourself, Ashley?
I was about to say the same thing as her as well. Like, because I'm me, like nobody else can be me. I grew up with myself, like you said. Like, I taught myself how to be me. I became to love Ashley. I came to love who I was. So pretty much all the ups, downs, turnarounds, the good, the happy, the bad, indifferent, like everything, I would not change it because I've grown to let that humble me and make it the person I am today. So I really am in love with myself more now than I could have said I was 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's definitely good. And I think it's going to be kind of all across the board because all of us have our different struggles, etc. And when I look back and asking that question is a question like I would say to myself and ask myself, especially on the days that I'm like, okay, this is it. I ain't making it through this day. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's a song around across your nose. Ashley knows I love MO3. It was like before he was even hot, I was on him. Doctors be like, why you listen to that song? I was like, why you listen to Kevin Gates? So now I listen to Kevin Gates. But it was, he says, you don't have to like me, I like myself.
Right.
You don't have to love me, I love myself. That's the thing. Like, it's almost like no matter what, I'm stuck with me. And I didn't have to be even a person. I didn't have to exist. It didn't have to be an experience that I was able to come down and experience. You know what I mean? So being grateful for myself, as each of us should, in turns brings on more things to be grateful for. You know what I mean? And when you want something in life, the more you show gratitude and show self-love to self, those doors open for you. That's one thing the universe does. Like, if you don't love yourself, you don't like yourself, you're not giving yourself time. If you're not first, so people are like, oh, you selfish. It's always about you. Yeah, it should be.
I gotta take care of me because you're not.
Yeah, I mean, like, but it should be because we're responsible for this experience ourselves, that what we send ourselves through. So knowing that, being more grateful for myself and loving on me, because there was a lot of things I actually like. I think all of us go through it. It's something about you didn't like. It could be a ton of things that I used to did not think, oh, I need that. All right, perfect. I'm just I love me. I'm gonna resonate sunshine everywhere, so I can get that back in return. It's gonna nurture what I'm planning. So yeah, self-love, and again, why it's super important. But as we move down to love ourselves, like ourselves, just what I want us to do is right now we're getting in our feminine energy. So when you think feminine and being in that energy, so the masculine and the feminine are parallel. So they constantly fighting against one or the other. We have feminine and masculine energy in us. In order to attract the man that we want, which is masculine, should be more masculine with testosterone, then we have to resonate more with our feminine energy and be more feminine. Right. So even when we're dealing with the man, if we handle him in a more feminine way, his testosterone is going to come down. And he's not going to be so rah-rah and aggressive.
Right. I tell a lot of people there's strength in submission and strength in femininity.
And you know that's my saying, right?
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Man, Samson fell because of a woman.
And I know.
Not saying that's for the good thing, but I'm just saying just being a woman,
you get more.
You get more.
Listen, I think when I was online, yes, I was online. Not online dating, on the dating site, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And one of that's probably one of our questions we're probably gonna be. We're gonna have a whole segment on dating online, y'all. It's much needed.
Can I be a guest?
Absolutely.
I got a lot of input.
Because I think there might be something in there. But one of my strongest sentence line was, in my power, I understand my submission to my mate. Mm-hmm. Because men tend to think because you're so powerful, you're strong. And I exude. When you look at me, it's like you look at me and be like, oh, I can run over her. She's a pushover. I know that I give off a stern, my queen of swords. Like, I'm about my shit.
Yes, you are.
You know what I mean? But however, when it comes to the man, what do you like? Whatever you like. You know what I mean? Like you see me hopping on one foot one day, he got me, okay? Like, they don't understand that. But yes, we're gonna do that. That is definitely a must. So we have to, once we understand the polarity in the two, we can understand what attracts the man. Mm-hmm. And it's gonna be looking sexy. There's a difference in classy and trashy.
Yeah.
It just is. You know what I mean?
A
huge difference. And also the way you carry yourself dressed in your attire and or not. Men are more visual.
Yes.
And if he wanted a man, he would be with a man. Yes. So what we need to do is understand that it does not make, this is the biggest misconception of our women, is we think if we be submissive and respectable. Let's talk about being respectable before we talk about being submissive, because the submission comes down the line. First, you have to be respectable. And it's a way to let a man down, or I don't want to say let him down, but like bring him down some from his rah-rah, because remember, they don't understand us. That's the first time.
They do not, and they say it time and time.
They don't know us. They don't.
Sometimes we don't understand us.
So I be like, testosterone is logical. It's providing. That's why we need them. Right. So that's why they don't understand, because the testosterone chemically, it's not for them to understand. No. And then us, we're emotional because of the estrogen. So we're supposed to be the receivers, and we have a hard time receiving. They're the provider and the giver. We the receiver. That's what estrogen and testosterone come hand in hand, and it's keeping a healthy balance. Mm-hmm. So we got to know how to play the art of war and how to finesse it.
How to do a tango together.
Yes, just like finesse.
Without stepping on each other.
Right. Absolutely. And it's a way for us to do it. But can we do it, ladies, simultaneously with being women, feminine? We don't have to rah and I this and I see all the drama. Mm-hmm. We had drama on the show last week because they felt like we needed drama. I feel like we need to understand. We need to have a 360-degree understanding. No, everything's not gonna be perfect, but when your mate comes and y'all not handling things well, or he's not receiving what you're saying well, or vice versa, fall back.
You know what I hear? They don't think it's fair for them to have to fall back, and when, like, sometimes both of us have to take a step back.
Yeah.
And they don't feel like they have to take a step back. When I have conversations, I'm like, well, why don't you feel like that? Because you're acting out of your emotions. But as a man, not a grown boy, as a man, you should understand that. Not saying, correction. You should accept the fact that I am acting out of my emotions, acknowledge it, help me acknowledge it, and we both step apart. Right. And it's not like I took your toy and you got to accept the fact that I took your toy. No, you ain't got to accept it, but understand it. And then, let me clear my head.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. You just said a key word. Let me clear my head. For men, that's speaks volumes for them. Because remember, they're logical. The testosterone controls their thinking. So they're not going to be like, well, baby, let's sit and have a talk. They're going to be like, let me go to the sports bar. Let me get around some more estrogen. Right. Let me just woo-woo, act like the game is going on, this and that, whatever. And that's how they think. They find their space. We're so in our heart space, our emotional, feminine space at a time and then it starts to come out as aggressive because we can't have our way. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right. What do you mean, man? Where you going?
Where you going?
Like, men, first time ladies, right. Men hate to be questioned. That's one of the other things. Don't even question him. It's gonna kill you, but don't ask his ass no questions.
I might leave the house when he leave the house.
Right. So we gotta play. We gotta play. Like you said, tango. We gotta play. It's unfortunate, but it is a game. It's a finessing type of game. So if you want to understand, so we tell me if your man is he playing with you, you know what I mean, or is he planning for you? There's gonna be signs. You know what I mean? Like there's gonna be different things to let us know if he's planning. So let me ask you this. Let's start with you, Ashley.
Okay.
What is something that you could say you're in an exclusive relationship? What would be a sign you would like to see? I would see from a man that will let you know that he's actually planning for you. Well, how would you know when he has plans for you?
Honestly, I would say like how he would come together and be with me, my family, my kids, like showing the interest of wanting to grow a family, wanting to work on having a family. Really, like you can't really put too much on it. Like you just really gotta see if a person's gonna walk how they talk. So I really would. I like to see it. I like to see if you're gonna go take that extra inch and that extra mile to make sure that we are on the same page and on one accord to start this family and or grow the family, continue to have the family moving forward.
Okay. Yes.
Hey, my 3 said if he includes you in more activities.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that would be
That
like
would be
the
what's
family.
said. That's right.
Going places with the family, the kids, even self.
Thank you for that remark. Definitely, if he plans,
Yeah.
he puts you in more things. Definitely.
That
Okay, Jeremiah, a question. Okay, that's a good one. And then for you, you would agree? You guys, whatever. You have something
I would
else?
agree. I mean, I think a relationship has 2 parts to it. It's the relationship side and it's the business partner side. So being that men are logical, when he makes his plans, part of that has to include me, and I come with package.
Right.
So he has to include me in his plans, and he has to, walk it like I gotta see these things. It has to be evidence of, I don't want to sound so cliche, but he has to be able to speak to his 5-year plan.
Right.
And we have a conversation, and his 5-year plan intertwines with mine, and it becomes our 5-year plan.
Yeah. Correct.
And we start walking together and understanding where we want to go as a unit, not as an individual. So when we start talking like I, and it becomes a we.
Right.
And let's.
So we speak French now. What Chris Echo say? So we speak French now.
That's not weak part though.
So, I would say how I will know he has plans for me. It's pretty simple. He's gonna tell me.
He lying.
He gonna tell me.
They be lying.
And look, we can never call. They'll be saying, but most of the time, now remind you, we're talking about men and or boys. So we're talking a man is gonna handle things differently. You're gonna know the values of the two, because a man is gonna already have his situations together. He's not coming with no foolishness. He ain't really coming with no mess and stress. He's got his finances together. He has his mental together. He's ready for something. Now, what happens is we tend to go solely off actions, and there could be some specialists, some therapists, some relationship coaches and dating coaches, and people been married a long time in relationships that can say, well, I go by the actions. You got to go by the actions. Yeah, no. For us, we will show emotion. We'll show action more so. Oh, I don't like to make breakfast. If I get up and fry your ass an egg,
it's love language. Love language.
I'm trying to tell you.
I ain't trying to do that.
If I get up in general while you getting up for work, then
but that's the difference.
But it depends on a woman, because I have a friend. She wake up every morning, cook.
Well, see, but
that's not me.
That's not her.
So if I do it, that's a love language.
Right. Exactly. Right. That's why I mentioned. That's one thing I know. So let's say it was something else that she didn't prefer, like laundry, but she did his laundry. It's got to be something that you only do for that, to let somebody know. So, like I said, for me, because I know a man is going to tell you when he's ready. Then you can take what he's saying and see if it lines up with what's been going on. But they generally gonna tell you, just like they're gonna tell you if they want to be, they're gonna say, I want to be, this is what I want. We want it, even if we want it before. If he doesn't initiate it, we out of luck.
Well, I haven't got to experience that yet. Anybody want to help me experience
that? Yes, Jessica's number 777-93. That's so for me, he would tell me, and I'll be looking forward. That's when we said in a couple episodes back, Drayvon was like, well, why does the man have to? Because like I want to feel like you chose me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm the prize, ladies. We are the prize. We feel like, like men, I gotta chase him, or I gotta give him attention, I gotta let him know I'm thinking about him. Let me call him, let me text him. Man, fuck that. I'm in my mask when I said that. I'm sorry, but I gotta reach to a lot of y'all where y'all at. And that's just where y'all at, okay?
I'm gonna come to you.
Listen, come to you where you at. The men, when you take the hunt and the chase away from them, they feel like they have not obtained anything. Right. They don't feel like they obtained the prize. We're the prize. You don't go up and say to the NBA and say, yo, give me a trophy y'all got right there. Why? Mm-hmm. You ain't play for that. Can I have Kobe's? No, you ain't Kobe. This got to be earned. It got to be earned. And once we put them back in a position of understanding that this is something that's worth you coming for, we'll get what we want. You know what I mean? Like we do too much throwing it out there and giving it to them. Getting it to them. Really need to say, oh, let me get the baby. No. Like, give these men what they want. Their chase. I mean, if you agree? You agree? Yeah. Both agree? Like, we do too much.
Short attention span.
Well, you guess what? After your attention span go out, reel it back in, pull it back out, reel it back in until you get mine.
Go fishing.
You know what I mean? Because we'll get caught up, and this is how we get our heart broke too. Because we won't, you know what I mean? We can't see.
Yeah. And then we find ourselves with some of this masculine. It appears to be masculine energy, but it's really not. It's not.
It's the protection, protecting ourselves. So yeah, he's gonna tell me. He's gonna need to tell me, Tanya, when it's all said and done, I got plans for you. You know what I mean? Like then I'm on board. Then you got my full undivided attention. Okay.
I think they need to so for that school most men need to go to.
Yeah, we got some stuff going on. What makes a man stop playing games and take you serious?
We should get a man answer that question.
Right? She said, what makes a man stop playing games and take you serious? And this is opinionated and from your perspective, because we got to understand, because we're thinking about it. It's like, okay, he's taking me serious. This is what's really in our subconscious mind anyway. Like, how is he going to take me serious? What would that look like to you?
So I have a hard time expressing my most inner intimate thoughts. So he's going to really have to pay attention to my actions and not be afraid to jump out on a limb, because it's really hard for me to show it's hard for me to be vulnerable.
Right.
Like, and I know that's like my weakness. It's hard for me to be vulnerable, but I'm straightforward. If I say I like you, I like you. There's no question to it. If I say I don't have time for you, I don't have time for you. So you just have to really understand my, I don't know, I'm not going to say rigid or abrasive personality, but
it's just your characteristics of who, you know what I mean, who you are.
Now,
I guess if we're being, so that's a good personality trait. Because you're like, you have an issue right now with being vulnerable, right? So right now, it's a lot of your masculinity.
I know. It could be the Capricorn thing, though.
It is a Cap. Like y'all are.
Like, I don't know astrology, but I read a fucking
right.
Something made me read one, and you mentioned something. I was like,
yeah. So
what's going on me?
Right. The universe. So with that, so we'll do. This is where exercises come in, and then you're like, okay, you know what? Ashley's like as hard as a rock. I'm like, oh my gosh, did I birthed this chick
from birth? Like from birth?
No, cause he off with your head.
Off with your head. I don't have time for it. It was fun while it lasted. But yeah, I'm busy.
He ain't answer the phone on the second ring. Mama.
No, I don't do that, Ashley.
He lying, like you said. He's lying. He's a lie.
He was in my face and old girl's face too. I can't do it.
This is where we're in. This is where we're in. So these are good things because these are how the women's psyche plays. This is how psyche plays on us. So what we have to do is how do we finesse that? Oh, see me like slot Pisces. He talking to old girl over by the bar. Okay, I'm cool. Waiter, can I get my drink? You get your little thing. And you act like you don't even see homeboy. Because there's a ton of other men in there too. So while he's entertaining, I didn't become the entertainer. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Is it again? We got to be understand. People can say, and I know somebody's back there, I don't want to play all these games, baby. The world was built on games. You got a winner and you got a loser. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. The game of life. It's like the game of life and how to play it. So in order to get what you want in life, everybody's playing some type of game.
Unfortunately.
Do you not soup up your resume when you looking for the right type of job, your dream job? You ain't just taking your time jotting out, let me just copy and paste and change the date from his resume from 5 years ago. No. You take your time. You might even go offer up and have some other college student write an amazing resume because you want your presentation and your vernacular that's what's going to give you more of that opportunity. So we have an issue with thinking that we don't have to be exactly what we want. And I'm here to tell you, you want a long-lasting relationship that's stable, meet that man where he's at, where he meets you. If we're on two different roads, we passing each other, right?
Right.
Don't look for a man making 6 figures and you make 3. I'm gonna tell you, stop it. Stop it. Yeah. He ain't great. Not only that, if he's a certain type of man, he's looking for somebody to compliment him. Now, if you're a trophy, that's fine. You ain't gotta work it out, baby. You ain't. Let me give you the black card. You want the Victoria's Secret card? If you're a trophy, but trophies don't last. Yeah. They don't last. They get dusty, rusty, and then you done forgot that you ran that right and you gone.
Curves, baby. You don't have to be rusty.
Right, she said, Dr. Curves. Make sure they can hear you, right? So, I would say, so what do you think? What makes a man stop playing games and take you serious? What would that be, Luke?
When he actually comes, to himself, this is the person I want to be with. This is the person that I don't want to play games with. I want to start the life with, or he's like we say, we cut from a different cloth. He see that you are a whole different type of woman. You cook, you clean, you take care of the kids, you help him, you there for him physically, mentally, emotionally. So I feel like if you can see that and you're willing to compromise being with me and stop playing the games, I feel like it's up to him. Because you can't change nobody, or you can't make nobody do something that you don't want to do. Mm-hmm. So you can say, "Oh, I want to be with him, but I want him to be with me right now." Well, he might not be ready right this second. It might be some stuff he got to go do, and then come back to you. But it's really, really, honestly, just like if we was on the other side, it's really up to him if he's gonna stop playing them games and say, "Hey, this is what I want to do. I'm feeling you. I like you. Let's try to see where it's gonna go." I like any of that. I really feel like it's on that person.
I mean, I've got questions. Yeah, that's valid as well. And I'm thinking as we're talking, and I would be like, for me, what are some signs that I would say I could give my man to let him know? For me, it's always letting you know where we stand women from actions. Right. So if I'm giving you, yes.
Mom 3 said, play the game or get played.
That's what exactly, because it's a game of life. You either I'm trying to listen. We're going from little princesses to queens to empresses to we got to move up. This is a game. I'm not losing. I ain't trying to lose. Y'all lose that like mine. I know we ain't trying to lose, right? And being empress for all this long time, I don't know anything less. I don't know how I'm gonna act if when I hear the word girlfriend. Like what? A whole empire over here. But I would say, what makes a man stop playing games and take me serious? Like you said, it is gonna be solely up to them. However, there's some things we can do to finesse it, that I would do to finagle, let him know what direction. Because remember, when you're dating and you see somebody, all we doing is running each other through a damn trial. We're doing a trial. So he wants to see, what makes you tick or not. When you get upset or not. What does that look like when you're mad? I want to see. I want to see how upset you get at me. Like when I do something wrong, like, are you going to completely shut down? Are you going to be aggressive? Are you going to be physically abusive? Are you just going to walk away? Or is it over? You know what I mean? Like, how do you handle pressure? Because granted, we get ready pressure, bust pipes and build diamonds. You know what I mean? So we need to know those things. When everything's good, it's good. But I would, if I'm showing him, or when I begin to show him that I am absolutely, positively his best option. I'm gonna say option because we options. Yeah. When you're not in something, you're an option. I have the option to pick A, B, or C. That's a damn option. Nobody like it, but that's an option. That's an option. So I need to show you I'm the better choice. Right. How do I do that? I'll be his peace. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I'm his peace. Yeah. That's what they need. They need to know like this. Like, baby, what are you coming home? Like, a man needs to feel like, and I can say, how you gonna be a king and you don't run a kingdom? This is my kingdom. Okay? Everybody under their own roof. If that's your kingdom, i.e. or your empire, that's what it is. Mm-hmm. Yes, this is the empress's empire. And yes, you can be an empress without an emperor. Do I want an emperor? Absolutely. Right. But this is my empire that I have structured for an emperor. It ain't all us. Like, not everybody else. The princesses, the queens, the kings are out. I would be his peace and show him, like, and at that point, when I start giving you me, because at this point, really to be honest, this is another mistake. We give all of us, and we give it too soon.
Yeah. That was going to be my question. When do you know to treat him?
We can't. When do we know? Okay, what was the question? I'm sorry. We're going to hold that question so we don't forget. What's the comment?
Is it about patience or persistence when dealing with a man that's not ready?
Is it about patience or persistence when dealing with a man that's not ready? You know what? Great question. Something like that. So it can be, let's say, we should have a sense of patience, temperance for a certain amount of time. And that's going to be based individually on each one of us. My amount of time, even we would even be out of line if you said, you know what, my time for a guy is 6 weeks and it's done. My time is 3 months. And I'm like, oh, my time is 30 days. You know what I mean? Or whatever. But that would be incorrect because it's going to be per individual. Right. So when you start feeling like patience becomes persistence, now you persistently pursuing him, persistently waiting on him to see what you see, right. It's time to get gone. Listen, because guess what?
What if he's preparing himself?
Now, it's another thing. You should already be prepared. Oh, you know what I mean?
That's fair.
He should really. So if we're dealing with grown men, and at our age where we at, we're not in our 20s.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
You should be prepared, and that is one thing. Like, are you prepared? Is he prepared to be in a relationship? And I have a problem with men that attempt to date and be dating and they're not ready. Yeah, and that's the story of our lives, I think, here in Atlanta. Anyway,
yes,
everybody wants to fake it till you make it a play. Come to me with what you have. Let me make that decision. But back to your question, like, yes, when your patience becomes persistence, you're persistently wait. Ask that question. Who was that question from, Draymond? Chris. Mark. So, are you losing sleep at night waiting on this man to be ready?
Or woman.
Or whoever. Man, woman, I'm sorry, whoever. Are you waiting on them? Do you lose sleep? Draymond, check the question. When do y'all get them? So are you waiting? Tell me what the response is, Trayvon.
No.
Okay, so is this a situation that has been seeming stagnant? Is it stagnancy? So is the situation stagnant? Do you feel like y'all stagnant in the relationship? Is that why you asked them, when does patience become persistence?
She said no.
Okay,
No, be quiet. Shut up.
girl. Scroll it up. Okay, when they
responded.
Okay, what did she say?
No response.
Okay, so let me know when she responds. Okay, so let's go. You had a question about when do you know?
Yeah, because,
Like, know when he's ready?
I have been proposed to on 3 separate occasions. And one of which is currently married.
Yeah, we got to talk about that one.
He's not married to me. But he at one point did get married, and he was preparing himself. And at the time we were together, it just wasn't enough for me. However, it was enough for someone else. And with her being patient, with him preparing himself, they husband and wife, and they have a baby, and here it is I think approaching their 3rd year anniversary, something like that.
So you know what?
She said give her a second.
Okay. She said give her a second?
Yes.
Okay. So that's fine. This is how I look at that. If you're not in a place where it feels good to your spirit, and check the Facebook, Trayvon, and it feels good to your peace of mind, your heart, that was not your husband.
Man,
you know what I mean?
I strategically did certain things to see. I had my little mini palace, department.
Right.
And I took care of everything. The only thing he had to do was pay the cable bill. Okay? Pay the cable bill. The only thing I cut out was the cable bill.
See.
But when it came down to being a man and being there, and the warm feelings, and he wasn't my son's father, but just being there for my son and acting, throwing the football and doing stuff, and his family invited us and everything. But it just was, I felt like he just had some more growing. I was younger. I think it was like 28, 29. I feel like he had more growing to do, and I don't know. I didn't have the patience.
So,
Dallas said, readiness is maturity. You're not an option. You're made for me. A real man knows a good woman's worth and won't look over her.
So he said in the first part, what did Dallas say?
Readiness is maturity.
Readiness is maturity?
Yeah, you're not option. You're made for me. A real man knows a good woman's worth and won't look over her, period.
Yeah, he will. A real man would know, but then if we being realistic, you have to see who this real woman and or man is. Yes. This is why we have options. This is why we're able to say, yeah, he just don't fit, or she don't fit, or yeah, I like this about her, I don't like this about him. So that's where options come in, because you get the option to choose who's the best suitor for you. Again, I definitely would like everybody that watches my show to watch Bridgerton. When you watch Bridgerton, send me a message, please. Because what you have to understand is, let's listen. And I know I'm getting out, and I got questions, the network got questions, I'm going to get to it. But what we have to understand is, again, we're getting away from what? The blueprint. It's not, these things are not difficult.
It's just
finding a man. Is what?
An addendum.
Addendum to the blueprint? Yeah. So yeah, we got hella addendums. We got exhibits, we got addendums 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like we call like a demo. Delayed closing. So yes, we got addendums, exhibits, and we got, add-ons. Like, no, we missing closing dates, okay? So what we have to understand is, when you follow the structure, the missions, you don't go. Jenna King used to be a thing when people was cleaning, and Jenna King has every major corporation business has a mission statement. They have a way that they run and function. You can be the independent owner of your own McDonald's, Burger King, Ross, Dollar Tree, TJ. It doesn't matter. But you're going to follow a strict policy, protocol, mission statement. This is what it is. So when we stop trying to make things fit, one size fit all, and you know what, this is 2021, I can do a man like this, and I can talk to him like that, and I can handle a woman like this, and she's that, then we will stop having all of these issues. That's just what it is. If you may not like it, it might not sound right to you, but I'm telling you, stop diverting from what works. If it works for you, let it work for you. Because the way we're moving out here in this single world, this shit is not working for us, okay? This is not.
And it ain't getting no better.
And I'm so tired.
Yeah, it gets tired, and then people get bitter. Then you get aggressive. Now we got to be rebuttaling against every man because you didn't had all these bad experiences with the men because we didn't follow the blueprint. I'm even guilty of it. We all are because we think we know. I know what's best for me. Well, let me do what the hell my great grandmama did because her ass had 10 kids and a man.
And all the bills is paid.
All the bills, man.
Now there was some side kids.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna beat your ass with some side kids. But again, if you're dealing with speaking of that, when you're dealing with a man that understands how imperative his legacy is, he's not gonna be having babies all over anyway. He's not. You ain't gonna have babies all over. You're not. You don't want that conflict in your household, in your family dynamics, and then you gotta spread yourself thin because he gotta be over here with her and this family, and then she mad and she wanna, like, come on, we're not doing all that. But again, when you go watch Bridgerton, the women carried themselves a certain way. They understood, first of all, that they are the prize. The men also understands that they're seeking for their best suitor, a prize. That's why I be like, who's my best suitor? Right. I don't say boyfriend, this and that. Like, yeah, if you're dating, you should be looking for a suitor. Who's the best? Who fits Jessica? Who fits Ashley? Who fits Tanya?
What is the marketplace to be selecting options from?
We're gonna be getting into that too. Yes, we go.
Ma said, I believe in building friendships in order to build relationships. And building that friendship, it is a little stagnant, but not wanting to give up on that person in terms of persistence.
That's one of my questions.
Yeah,
should have been.
And then she said, just letting them know when you get your head on straight, you will see what type of friend I can be.
And you know what? And that is one, and I thought I had it in there. I know I have it in the phone. Me and the network owner was talking about, I called him early, we were talking, and I said, listen, one of my questions is going to be, do you think we should be friends and I want to build a friendship is a placeholder for dating? It fucking absolutely is.
Yeah,
it is.
Now listen, and I say that because yes, I get it, I've heard it. My husband was my best friend. You know what I mean?
Was he your friend before you became your...
Girl, that's what the point I'm getting to. So, no, we didn't sit and say, he didn't have to, I didn't say, oh, the screen on the door handle broke. Can you come over here and fix it 10 times? Or, oh, I think I heard something. Can you come over? Somebody, baby, I'm serious. No, these things, what we have to understand is stop trying to control everything. When we control everything, then our mind starts playing tricks on us. Mm-hmm. It starts saying, well, he needs to be doing this over here because, he ain't did that. Oh, she ain't say this, or she ain't cook, she didn't this. Like, when it go with the flow means go with the flow. Stop looking for friendship because guess what? Your mate is going to automatically be built as a friend. So when people are like, I'm looking, that's so you can open. I want my mate to be my best friend. I want him to be friends. She to be my friend. Well, I have to like you for me to even be friend, right? So like you're not gonna like somebody that you're not friendly with or that's not a friend to you or shown attributes of being a good friend, whether it's even a friendship like ours. Yeah. He wasn't a good friend to me. You're not a good friend. Yeah. We're right. We're not going to communicate. We're not going to be around each other. Any of that. We need to stop giving men that space. They know, because remember, y'all, let's really think about this. Because right now, we're speaking on emotion. Let's get out of emotion. Because what we do is, like I said, we wear ourselves too thin, trying to show these men how good we are. We the best catch. This is why I'll show you that I ain't crazy. You know what I mean? I'll show you that I'm responsible, I'm self-sufficient, and that I am the prize.
Right.
And I do that by one, sitting back in my feminine energy, looking good as hell, smelling good. You know my favorite word, look good, smell good, taste good. However, what I'm not going to do is force you to see what you already know. Yeah. Remind you, a lot of these men, they already know the qualifications. When a man set his eyes on you, and after he set on you, the first thing is physical. Right. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, physically, I'm attracted to her. Not even sexually, I want to sleep with. It's not, it be point that, but it be physically, this is my type.
That's what brought him over here.
Right. We all gotta have a type, right? Mm-hmm. This is his type. Then he sits there and he starts digging into your mind space. You start digging into his mind space. Then y'all start seeing, then y'all compatible on some things. These are things that build a friendship already. These are building blocks for friendships, compatibility. You know what I mean? Understanding with one another already without you really trying to work for it. You know what I mean? Men tend to use, and some women do it too, but I need to see, you know, how good we are together. We didn't, listen, y'all. All that shit sound good. Both of my relationships, both of the people I had children with, there wasn't no, and it wasn't even, don't get me wrong, it wasn't playing like, oh, I'm going to meet him and we're going to kick it right now, right today. No, the energy, your spirit never lies to you. Let's function on what moves this whole world around. It's a magnetic force. It's energy. Mm-hmm. It's an unseen, powerful force that really controls everything. So if you feeling him or her, she's feeling you or him or her, but then they stagnant, they playing around, let me tell you what you do. Remove your energy. That's all you have to do, y'all. This is not hard. If you want to attract somebody, you pull your energy back. Yeah. If you calling him, and let's say you schedule like, oh, good morning, King, because we have a tendency to do that. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm sick of those good morning texts. Okay? I've been sick of them. I don't even reply back now because one, it's a placeholder.
It is.
One time I started seeing like, I would get texts outside. I said, all these brothers is up. They were first shift. They did not wash their ass, and they came down this good morning. Like, I don't have time for that. Block them. Because once, show me, because like it's good to a certain extent. Everything has it runs its course. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Stop playing with me. Good morning to little girls and all that. Now we're graduating from good morning Texas. Now ask me when is my off day? When do I have time for a walk in the park or a video chat or something like that? We don't good morning me to death. Those are placeholders, y'all. Because 9 times out of 10, they do have somebody else that they're more interested in. But they just don't know where it's at. She's now been bumped up from spot 5 to 3. And right now you're 5 to 6.
Because I had a friend, we was talking for the longest. I didn't even know he been having a family since high school. Oh, wow. And the girl was all over my phone after we came back from our family trip, the last one we took. And I was like, baby, like I've been knowing him for a year. Like, come to my house, his friends kicking it with my friends, my sisters. Like, where you been? But we had a conversation one day. And he was like, you know, I'm feeling you when you come over, your kids asleep, the house is clean, they ain't running around, all of that stuff. This man said, I'm moving you from spot 4 to spot 1.
Oh, he didn't.
I said,
I appreciate the honesty.
Right. I mean, he was completely honest.
He was dead ass serious.
But I had just really moved to Georgia too. But this man knew me as soon as I moved into my apartment. He knew every address I had, he had. But how can you move me from spot 4 to spot 1 and you have somebody you've been with since high school? Your high school sweethearts. The girl was on my phone talking about, y'all just had a baby. We just had a baby. I'm like, my tubes is tied. Like, you know, like, don't come to me telling me you're going to put me in this certain spot when you keep on filling these slots of women that you really don't even want in the first place, but you know that I'm way more different from them to go from spot one to 1. I couldn't even trust you, even if I did go from spot 4 to 1.
What's that? Because here comes the number one spot.
Right. That's what I don't want to be.
I'm the only one.
And then once you give me a whiff that you got slots 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6 filled, then I'm just gonna knock you all the way off the board and refill my number 1 spot where you was at.
So what should be, then we start, this is where how we get back into the self-love. But you know what? Everything that happens is a lesson. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that lets you, just even with that, will let you know, understand. That's why I was saying with Dallas, if he's over at DJ on Facebook, this is why I was saying earlier, Dallas, that everyone has options. And you're entitled, let's just be real here. Everybody's in... You don't. Well, we're gonna work on options. Because ain't none of us. We all bad and beautiful, male and female. There's no reason we should not. I am a firm believer in having who I want. I'm not settling. Am I chilly? Absolutely not. Because you can't ask and look for too much and just knock yourself completely out the game. You know what I mean?
I was told to reduce my requirements.
So it depends on what your requirements are, if they need to be reduced or not. Most of the women that need to reduce their requirements, and some of the men that are doing well, their egos might push in and they might, not agree. However, is the women like us that have our stuff together. We've worked, hard to establish what you have. For me, I feel like it's overrated when the men are intimidated. Some men are intimidated. Some are just like, she just gonna give me too much problems, period. And it's not really intimidation. It's just them, assuming assumptions.
And some of them just don't want to do that work of wanting to change who they are to go to be in a committed relationship.
And see, we had this conversation too when the men was on about would I, date somebody that worked at McDonald's? Absolutely. Like McDonald's, come on. Like we're doing too much, okay? Mm-hmm. But, however, it's not a problem if I was to make more money. You know what I mean? We know that that's not a problem. Whatever the man for me feels comfortable in his life, where he's at financially, either we're gonna agree that this is fine and this is the structure for our empire, or we not. It's not a problem for me. You know what I mean? But men seem to make it a problem. I had somebody call me, was it day before yesterday, hunted me down in a state I'm not even from. So homeboy was good. He finds me. He's like, I lost my phone. And I'm thinking, like, what is this? Oh, it's Z. I'm going to say Z. It's Z. And I'm like, okay. Like, I ain't talked to you since, like, the beginning of 2021. You know what I mean? Whatever. Last time I talked to you, he's like, man, I had to find you. He's like, listen, I need to apologize. I'm like, apologize for what, right? He's like, man, when we kick it, don't spend, we date, we wasn't dating, but we went on a date or two. He was like, I actually ran. He said, I was like, what do I have to offer this woman? Like, I'm starting a new business, this, that, and the third. And I'm listening to him go on and on for like 30, 35 minutes, respectfully. And I'm like, I appreciate the apology. Because one thing, when a man puts his emotions on the line, and he comes, you don't cut that off. I don't care. You don't do that. It had to be very hard for you to come and find me. But again, the most attractive thing about that, the chase. See, when men don't get it. They get it sometimes. Some just depends. With me, he didn't get it. But then when my energy's pulled back, this man been sitting there pondering and thinking about stuff that I wasn't even ever thinking about.
That void in his life.
You know what I mean? Pulling that energy back. Mm-hmm. I'm gone out about my life. I forgot. Right? Like, I don't forget all about it. But I appreciate that, and also again the chase. And I'm sure he appreciates the chase. Like he said, regardless, I know you probably doing something different, and you was I am. But I appreciate the fact that you understood, and I gave him some words. He's probably watching and listening because he said, "Well, like, listen, I'm just being, y'all know, we straight honest." But what's the comment?
Don said, I say readiness is maturity because this is the reason why men and women are out playing these games because they are not mature or ready. And I say that you're not an option, meaning I know it's a fantasy world type of thinking, yet I know what hold on. Some more. Sheesh. Where was I? Hold on. Gotta see what it was. Alright, maturity or ready, and I say that you're not an option, meaning I know it's a fantasy world type of thinking, yet I know without seeking, if a woman is made for me, my faith in God makes that happen. You don't even have to do in the dating world. Mm-hmm. To have a ton of females or male as friends and just happening a real woman or man without being right up under your nose, just saying.
How do you get to the point, Dallas, of knowing who that right woman is if you haven't been out there or gotten out there, you know what I mean, to try to grasp who your next suitor is or who you're going to suit up next or who she's going to suit. So when we say options, we never remind you, we're not talking about the people that just out here just saying casually dating or I'm just dating and not dating with a purpose, because that's basically they stroking their own egos, their own sexual desires, fantasies, etc. The males and females. We're talking about there's no substance to that. We're talking about people that are literally looking for their partner. And the reason I say looking, because like we're not in a small secluded space anymore like we used to do. The world has evolved and grew tremendously since the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, even the early 2000s.
Right.
Excuse me. So with that being said, a lot of us work a lot. I'm not going to find nobody searching for a house. 9 times out of 10, they already married or single, and I'm in business mode. So I'm not on leisure time. I'm not on finding another mate time. So when you get on the sites and you start dating, that's where you have these options. Because now I get online and I'll have three guys. I may only see one of them as somebody that I even want to even have a conversation with, based on what their profile is saying, and is he even my type? You know what I mean? So now we have one. So let's say tomorrow come, I get 4 more in my inbox. I ain't feeling none of them. Then here we go to Friday. There's 2. 2 of them, they might be a little promising. So now I have 3 options that I can choose from. You know what I mean? With those 3 options, I then will narrow it down. Let me see what his conversation's about. What he really on here for? Because you lie online. Right? Where's he at? Where's these conversations going? And then you pick somebody. Like currently, I'm not online. You know what I mean? For by reason, I found somebody that I'm great focus energy on. But however, that doesn't work out. You get back online and you try it again. You know what I mean? Like, because what I'm not going to do is allow bad situations or mishaps are the wrong partner. Because remember, there's somebody for everybody, and men gonna say no, it's not, because the women outnumber the men and da da da. When we talking about people that die, when we talking about the women that don't even like men, even if when we talk about the women that's fed up with men and ain't even get ready to sleep with another man or just okay by themselves, because believe you men, they're out here, and I feel like they're too young to be speaking like that, but they highly are. We get down to the nitty gritty. I ain't never been without a man until, unless it's between the time that I know that I'm not going to just settle. Right now, I'm without a man, not by force, by choice, because I know what I want. So you would have a man. All 3 of us sitting here.
I think a lot of times we go without a man because by choice.
By choice, absolutely. Let's say it.
Ron said, so you're saying we need to keep a starting 5 in rotation?
No.
Until you find
no.
Starting 5 in rotation.
Because I was about to say to Dallas's question.
Not the NBA.
What I was about to say, how I took Dallas's question was, Like he's saying, like if you not that type of person that wants to casually date and have multiple partners, there are some people who meet people and boom, right then and there, they just automatically click. They automatically go with each other. Like both of my relationships was with my kids' fathers. I didn't. My daughter's dad, we was friends from preteens and teeny boppers and all that, and then we had our Maya. But my second one, we just knew each other. I can't necessarily say we was friends, but we was cordial enough with each other months before we slept together. So like, it's not even necessarily as choosing somebody or being friends. Like you said earlier, it's about the energy. So sometimes you can meet somebody right then and there and they finish your sentence. Or you can meet somebody right then and there and you be like, oh hell no, I'm good. So it's never about how long you knew somebody. It's about how y'all connect with each other, how y'all talk with each other, how y'all make each other comfortable, like all those things. So I never really put a time frame on nothing, because I've been in relationships where I was friends for months, and then I've been in relationships where we just kicked it and we end up being together. Like sometimes it just happens. So that's what I think Dallas was saying when he was trying to split it up between multiple people and then the people who just know, like they said, first love at first sight. If you see somebody, you know right then and there, that's my husband, that's my wife.
But then think about this. They had options. Again, no matter how bad we want to, we can't divert from having options. And options don't have to be in depth. You sleeping on options. There's options. I have options. Do I entertain them? No. Right. We all have somebody we can go to other than, unless you married, you shouldn't have nobody you can go to. Unless you in a for real serious relationship, some stuff like that, you shouldn't be going to anybody anyway. Let's be very clear. I'm about keeping families and making relationships, not breaking them. We're not home wrecking. We're not side chicking. We're not doing any of that. We're actually coming out of that cesspool. Amen. So even in an exclusive, that's why I said even for me being in not even in a situation was like, you know what? I'm with you, you and me, and everybody was living together or something. Like, it's still not giving me the right to just be like, you know what, well, let me talk to Johnny about, like, I just don't move like that. Do I have the right? Probably, yeah. And then, especially if you're not sleeping with them, we're friends. That's where I don't play that friend stuff like that. Like, I'm going to be honest, like, it has to be.
I do, because if you a friend, you a friend.
Right.
That's why I live by friends. If you be my friend for too long, you're going to get friend zoned.
If you need the friend zone.
They don't like that. Like, I have a guy best friend. Me and him are literally friends.
That's friends.
Literally probably only gave each other maybe 2 hugs, and we've been knowing each other for a couple years. But if you with somebody and they like, oh, she's your friend or he's your friend, and you giving that person a little more attention, or you giving them, like, you know, like they feel like family to you, that will make your significant other jealous. Because, like, why does she feel more like family to you than I do? And then they'll, oh, you sleeping with him? Are you sleeping with her? No. They're like,
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Those are, and I think this is where we have boundaries. You know what I mean? Boundaries. But let me go to this question. This is on the question. So, if there are 2 men pursuing you, one guy who doesn't meet your needs, but he has plans for you, and the second guy who's still playing games, but meets all your needs, which one do you keep and why?
I'm in that situation now. I got 3 of them.
You got 3 of them?
But one out of state, so that do he really count?
All of them counting. You man?
So, the one out of state, I think if our situation was a little different, I'd probably have his last name. But being that we couldn't figure out how to bridge that gap, and life happened, and we kind of grew distance. I can't say he's playing games because he thinks I'm playing games. And it's fair for him to say that because of, we're not going to talk about that. But it's fair for him to say that. So then, we're going to talk about
relationship coaching, right? We're going to coach.
So the other 2, I kind of met on the online dating thing, and they are very mature. They're grown men, and they move accordingly, although they do have their flaws. One, I feel like I'm a part of a rotation. Oh. And he wants to take his time. He says he alludes that I'm at the top. Yeah, but he also, he hasn't said it, but he makes it seem like I'm the only one But anytime he tries to plan, because like I say, I follow your lead.
Mm-hmm. As we should.
Yeah. I follow your lead. Now I could be missing you and be wanting you, but you will never know.
Right.
They'll know, but you'll never know. And I feel like if I let him know, honestly, I feel like I'm a yo-yo. He doesn't know I feel like I'm a yo-yo. He thinks that I kind of, because I will mirror his actions with no problem. But he'll call him like, I want to see you. When you want to see me? I want to see you on Wednesday. Wednesday come, he got an excuse. Then his thing is, I don't want to spend too much time with you because I don't want to burn out how I feel about you. I'm like, okay, well, you keep not trying to burn out.
Right, so he probably has a rotate, like he call you at a certain time? Like,
no,
like how does that
random.
go?
He is the definition of random.
Right. So,
but when I have his attention, I have his undivided attention. He takes care of me. He's catering. He's nurturing.
But it's far and few between.
It's far and few between. And it's confusing.
That's his.
I'm talking about so much so he will unbuckle my shoes.
I had that. And
take my shoes off and put them in a corner and will rub my feet while we watch TV and put my shoes back on when it's time for me to go.
But far and few between.
Will chill my wine glass before
I already know. So this way, okay. So let me tell you, you're gonna need to have that conversation.
I've had the conversation.
Okay, so you said you need to let them know. Say like you said, like okay, so you don't want to say this is where men become perplexing, meaning beyond freaking confusing. Okay. Because they'll tell us one thing and show us one thing and think that we're supposed to automatically know that ain't really what it is. So you're showing me traits of a attentive man / potential husband. Mm-hmm. However, you're moving like I'm in the caboose, and sometimes I'm checking the train and I might be in the third cargo, and then that's all clear, and then I'm in the fifth and I'm at the caboose, then I'm at the head of the train. Like, we're not doing that. So how long has this situation been going on?
August.
Oh, we almost in 2022. He ain't made no changes by December 31st. He's out of here. And let him know. But you have to let him know. Like, because what happens is, again, we have to understand we're the prize. Where do you see? So now he's comfortable. He's complacent with handling you on his schedule, his timing, his accord. But guess who'll be suffering? Unbeknownst to him, it's you. Right. But let's be clear. They know what the hell they doing.
Well, I get bored easily.
Yeah, but he's not. Guess what? So when that energy's pulled back, I can tell you now clearly you're not spending any time with anybody else because his energy is still consistent and he still thinks that you're waiting for him.
And he knows that because
they know it because they know it. I was told, I know you giddy about me. Oh, you do? Okay. Let me giddy my ass out of the house. You know what I mean? Because you're going to come for me. Every morning, women, like every morning, when you get up and you look at your beautiful self, like I have a little beat, like I listen to music and Mary J. That
new Good Morning Beautiful.
That's the new one. Yes. Good Morning Gorgeous. Yeah. But then the old one, I would change my life. Like this, but that's one of my songs. Yes, and then you look and you tell yourself, I am the prize. I tell myself, I'm the high priestess. I'm the empress. I deserve to be loved.
I've been going to bed by myself for 6 years.
And it's not good. 6 years, yes, you have. A long time. I know. Yes, she has. 6 years. Guess what?
I feel bad. It's been 5 years.
Listen.
I want to cuddle.
We want to cuddle. We don't want to. Javon just has a question coming. So women, like, listen, from this night on, we don't let men handle you how you want to based on, and I think Mo3 was talking about earlier, she was saying the friend thing, that she wants him to know that she's a good friend. Well, baby, you trying to be wifey. You ain't trying to be nobody friend. I have friends. I need no new friends. Remember Drake, no new friends. Because my man, not only, yes, they become, see, when we say friends, you want your partner, your mate to be your friend, it's a different type of friend. That's not the same as friend. I have guy friends as friends, and they upset because they friend zone. Well, we friends. Right. We friends, homie. I'm not looking at you in an intimate manner. Because when you become intimate and you become a partnership has to be friends. You don't start a business and break bread with somebody you're not friends with. Yeah. You can't trust that. Your business is going to go down in the dumps merely because y'all don't have a like mind. And y'all, if you're not friends, you have no trust. You have no loyalty. You have no standards. You have no accountability to one another. So we're not going to keep letting men tell us that, oh, baby, I'm trying to see if we can be friends. Well, you see if we can be friends while you're at Fisher's and Big Boys getting your burgers and stuff, and I'm going to be a friend to myself and whoever else understands those friend qualities in me. Like, we got to stop playing this game. We're not about to keep letting them handle us like they want to handle us. If you can make time to not miss the Cowboys play out of Steelers, you can make time to make sure that you're consistent over here. I'm big on consistency. Loyalty, communication, consistency. And the consistency needs to be frequent, because you can be consistent. He's consistent. He's consistent with being inconsistent.
Yeah. Consistently inconsistent.
So he isn't consistent. So now it's for you to say, ball's in my court now. Because I'm the prize. I'm the trophy. You want the trophy behind the glass? This is how this works. And again, men, don't be upset. But you're not going to be handled like you the water boy. You're going to be handled with the utmost respect. Yeah. Like, it's a way, just because we don't want y'all just shuffling us around. You done moved from 4 to the number 1 spot. He got a whole family. Or you handling me like, yeah, I got time, but, and then you tell me you coming by, but then, like you said, you don't make it or whatever. Like, listen, we need to stop being so readily available. I am not available, okay?
And the ones that do come running in the right situation.
They ain't even enter.
So I know they're capable, because you can have a man who just don't have nothing together. He on your phone. He
got too much time on his hands.
He do. And that's too much time. I can't give too much time.
Too much time on his hand.
Blacker USA said, not true, you can be friends.
We're not saying we can't be friends. But listen, you're not friend zoning me until you figure out I'm the right woman for you. That's not happening. It don't take all of that. Again, I've been in long committed relationships without saying, oh baby, you got what I need. Like that.
Blur the lines of
friendship. It is.
You get to know each other. That's getting to know me. Not my friend. Like, I hang out with my friends.
We're friends.
I don't have romantic thoughts with my friends. What you're doing is you're trying to get to know me. You're courting me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's a phrase that no one uses nowadays. You're courting me.
They'll say friend zone.
Yeah, you want to evaluate me and how
I want to evaluate you.
And that's what we're doing. We're not friends.
We're not friends.
Although it runs parallel to friendship, but we're not friends.
Courting, yes, absolutely right, Jesse. Yes.
Champ Lopez said a female shouldn't think she the prize in a 14-to-1 ratio.
Listen, Champ. He said, what? Did y'all hear that?
I said what I said.
I need you to say what you said again.
Okay, read it again. I heard it very clear, Drayvon. I heard what Mr. Champ said.
She the prize in a 14-to-1 ratio.
What should she think she is?
Right.
What should she think she is?
I mean, okay, so
maybe the bowl or something. I don't know.
So you all have been here because we have Facebook, so we have 2 IGs on. So Champ Lopez on IGs, probably on the La'Tanya Moore-Newsome personal page, said that a woman should not think that she's the prize in a 14-to-1 ratio. Let me tell you something, baby. What does he say?
Blacker USA agrees with Champ Lopez.
Okay, Blacker and Champ. Let us be clear. Because that's going to get you jacking off a lot. Okay? Just being real. Let me help you understand why I say that.
Vaseline for sale.
Listen. Stock ships say never close. And you know why? Because they think like y'all. Let me help you understand. The ratio could be 14-to-1. It could be 21-to-1. However,
all those quality women though.
But this is exactly the 14-to-1 ratio. Out of the 14-to-1, let's hand pick which one of these women are valuable. Let's see who got serious lifelines. How many of these women have substance? How many of these women gonna have your back when it gets rough and tough? How many are How many are even in that position? How many of these women can you really trust? How many of these women ain't gonna sleep with you and your homeboy?
And take care of your kids.
How many how many of these women are LeBron James's wife type women? How many of them are a Morgan Freeman type woman? So you can have 14-to-1, but out of 14-to-1, show me how many of them have substance. Because remember, again, I don't just be on here talking just to be talking. My track record speaks for itself.
I carry myself
you know
like
what I mean?
Lady, and
it speaks for itself.
But that's what I was sorry.
No, we good. Because I was saying, like, it doesn't mean.
Even when I was working at White Castles, like, I didn't even know that 2 men were looking at me as I was walking up the street. And I just so happened to go to the store, and they like, that's the type of woman we talking about. Don't even know that somebody's looking at them, but the way that I had a purse, I wasn't even used to really carrying a purse as much. Not no big purse, just the struggle. But he was like, that's what we want to see. Like, if you don't see us looking at you, we want it. You know what I'm saying? We want to be able to admire you from afar. Mm-hmm. So even if we do say, hey, you sexy, are you single? Can I be your friend? Then that's when you break it down to what you want to do. But that's I mean, I love you guys. I love black men. Let's say, y'all know my thing is, that's why we here. Black men are amazing. But to think that any women of substance, because right now you have 3 women of substance. If we go into a bigger setting, then our ratio is going to be, the selection is going to be to the bare minimum. You're going to have about 20 women that ain't have nothing going on except for how much money do you have in your pocket. What is it that you can give me? My phone bill is due. Matter of fact, I want surgery. Did you like the ratios? JJ some cereal.
Right. So what we're not going to do is the quality of good women of substance, like it's sitting on this panel, that we're supposed to not understand our worth because the ratios and the numbers say otherwise. That's crazy. The ratios was that when I was a wife 16 years ago and only a widow now. So that's exactly what it is. But are either one of you gentlemen with a woman of substance currently? Blacker and Champ? Okay, what's the next question? That'll be interesting.
Female said, speak La'Tanya, and Ron said, you both should be the prize.
And
then, hold on.
He said we both should be the prize?
Yes, both. Meaning females and
feminine energy.
No, that's him saying, yeah.
Dallas Cross said, sis, I know I'm a different breed of man. I'd rather have a male and female friend and we all grow together by getting to know each other, hanging out, having fun, and let love happen. That to be
sounds like
out there and the dating scene. It's just my own approach, not even is man or woman or the same. You might like the dating scene and some don't. It's all about the person's preference.
It's not that I like the dating scene. It's listen, what we're talking about is realistic. Realistically, it's 2021 about to be 2022. This is the way of dating. I've been in grocery store. We shop all the time. How many men approach you in the grocery store?
Shelly.
They're super afraid. And believe it or not, that's going to be another topic about how online dating has disrupted the organic flow of relationships and getting to know each other. That's a whole different topic. However, it's not that I like the dating scene. I'm a businesswoman. I don't sit at home. And even if I did, if you sitting at home, I still not meet anyone. Mm-hmm. We're in Georgia. The prevalence big. The people I meet are not in my local area. We meet people all over. You know what I mean? And it's not what it is not me closing up, being open to finding somebody. And Ron, back to, he said we both the prize.
Yeah.
You know.
No, you a man.
Yeah, like
I'm a female.
I mean,
I like shiny, glittery things. All right.
It's the trophies are shiny. They structured. They look nice. They got your personal signature on it. It's because you accomplished something. So I would say I did a great thing by accepting, being accepting and open for this man. But we still agree that the woman is the prize. I never got a man that said I got a prize.
I think the reason why, especially in Metro Atlanta, because we are outnumbered, it is 14-1. You all have a pick. You all have the opportunity. Y'all have more to pick from.
Yeah.
So because women have warped this whole perception of always grabbing, and you have the ability to say, I don't want that one. I want this and I want that one. I can understand you feeling like you are a prize because women like myself, and we do want men.
Yeah.
And yes, but I don't sit here and idolize having a man. God created man and he created woman. He created me to be under you. He created you to cover me. He created you to lead and guide me. He created me to support you in everything you do. When Adam was there doing what he was supposed to do by himself, God was like, you need some help.
I help mate. You need help mate. That for you.
So you were already here. I was a gift to you.
Which is why
I am
the prize.
I am your prize.
We are the prize. Period. No matter how you face it, and then it's so many different ways. This is why we have these conversations.
But I don't need you to pay my mortgage. I don't need you to pay my car. And that's the thing. If I need all that, you would be a prize. But I don't need that. I would like it, but I don't need it.
I had to stop saying that. Like, I don't need you to help me pay my bills and all this stuff. It's not even that we need you. It's that if we gonna come and be together in a relationship, it should already be like, I'm coming in here. Like, I'm sorry. I grew up where my daddy came in. He did not do nothing that wasn't going to make us wake up in the morning like, damn, this man's downstairs cooking. He's cleaning. He got the little sister in the tub. The hair's done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just so used to seeing that. Like,
and even with clear, he was a damn show alpha, damn show man.
Right.
But what he did is he understood the dynamics of our household. And 9 times out of 10, yes, the assignment definitely knew. Obviously, there was something that I was doing. Like, I was in school. I took out a moment. Like, I was in school a lot. I had the kids. Like, he just picked up that slack, as so I did with him. We were a blended family. So when the baby mama come, the ex-wife come and dropping kids on the porch, I wasn't like, let these kids, come on, let's go and get shopping. Yeah. What I did for mine, I did for them. There was no difference in it. And that's also another topic.
But listen that. As well, like a lot of men just want to just
question was something I was gonna say. The microwave, just being there.
Like they have the women that's going, just give me some food and this and that. Like they want them fast living women that really don't care if they gonna say, hey, have you ate today? Have you had lunch for work? Even at my age, I'm that type of girl. Like, I'm gonna call you and ask you, how's your day doing? Have you ate? Do you need some lunch? Even if we just kick it.
And we have to be careful too with that, with men that's in their masculine energy, because that pulls their testosterone down and more estrogen. Then they start being whiny, like, oh, she's clingy, she this, she that. That's where that come from. They start transferring their energy. Now, what we don't want men to think is that because we're self-sufficient, because we have to be. If I was living under a bridge, you wouldn't want me. If I was homeless, me and my kids slept in the car, I wouldn't be on your level at all.
I gave you a cable bill to pay. You couldn't even keep it.
So let's be clear when you say,
I don't like being on the side of the road with my sofa.
Right. They can have a thin line for us when we are handling our business. It's either you too strong or you not. Are you not independent enough? You're either too dependent or you too codependent. Make up your mind. You know what I mean? It's y'all putting us on a thin line. Our job as the helpmate is to be where we need to be financially, mentally, securely, so that when everybody takes a spill, we all have ups and downs. No matter what your tax bracket is, no matter what your checks say on the back of it, that's just the way the world operates. That's the 360, the cycle of life. So when that happens, then it'll be women like us that say, you know what, baby, I got you. We're your biggest cheerleader. Yep. You know what I mean? Let me get my pom-poms out. My man about to come home because he done lost his job. I'm like, hell no, we won't go. And baby, I got the resume. Your meal is still there. Right, you still. Let you sit back in the theater room because you're going to need your downtime because you're about to lose your mind inside your logical brain. But I'm here when you need me. Y'all need to make up your damn minds. Yeah. What's the next question?
Blacker USA.
Was that the next one in line?
Blacker USA said, women today are so off path. They do not know how to recognize a good man, just the ones with the new whatever.
With the new what? With the new
what? Like the new material stuff.
Okay.
Like,
go ahead.
Whatever. The good whatever.
That's what I was trying to say earlier, but the question came in like, yes, a lot of men and women are going for the ones that are fast tracked. They have not literally sat down and thought like how we thinking, like, damn, there really is somebody that I could actually go and build a relationship with. It's more so, can I get my stuff wet tonight? Mm-mm. Can I get some tonight? Do you got a little bit of money in your pocket? You know what I'm saying? Who's at your house? How many people live with you? Like, it's nothing censored.
Women don't have a lot of examples nowadays.
And that part too. But for women like me who do have examples, it's hard for us because of the girls out there who don't or do. Like, it's all about how the way you carrying yourself.
Because that one is out there with 13
right. Like you could get Tom and Brian and Eric and all them and everybody, and then I'll be like, damn, I'm just trying to get that one person to act right, or that second person, but you know, it's just easier for some people.
And it is. And with Blocker, when he was saying most women are all over the place and they don't know. I'm gonna say this to you, to all the men, because it's men like you to think like that, and it's okay. I'm gonna tell you the same thing I tell the women. Take accountability. Yeah. With the utmost respect, because I love you. I love all men. I love my black men. Take accountability, because remember, like attracts like. So if the women that you're encountering are women that do not have substance, you are actually, unbeknownst to you, you're going for the women that have the opposite of what you really want in your subconscious mind. So what's happening is whatever's leading you is not really the subconscious. The subconscious is the things that are in the back of our mind space that really control 95% of the brain that we don't even be cognizant of. It's the conscious that we think control it. The conscious only controls 5%. So that 95% is what just spoke over the airways saying, hey, these women are not this and that, and they play games. You have to take accountability and start looking at yourself and say, okay, what is it that I can do different? Where is it I can go differently? What is it that I need to see is different? Because you're going to attract a different type of woman. There's tons of men that speak like it. You see, I haven't met you all. You know what I mean? Like, it's a reason. Jesse ain't met you. Ashley ain't met you. You in the wrong place with the wrong type of women that have a whole hidden agenda. Yeah. So that's why. But once you change your vibration and change what's going on and the type of women you entertain, guess what? Women like me are then gonna say, you know what? I can spend some time trying to evaluate this. Because we smell it on y'all. We see it. We see it when we look social media. We see it. What's the next question?
So Real Deal said the majority ain't good. Well, first he said we get on our knees and ask to marry you. What do women do to be worthy? Then he said
what do we do to be worthy?
The majority ain't good role models. The majority ain't good role models, but say I'm hurt because I speak on them. And then Dallas said, well, y'all wait.
Who tell the guy that said on his video who was that about he proposed. Tell him the message again. So he said that
he also said not. Well, he said not true. I don't know what he said not true, but he said no, not true. Women are so fake and manipulative.
So we could say that about men, right?
Okay, so I know a lot of
women are fake and manipulative.
I know a lot of women, and I can agree to some of that because I sit back and watch, and I'm like, that's what y'all do?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Y'all can do that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've watched women be very manipulative, but they do it out of survival.
Yeah.
Not saying I agree with it, but when I say they do it out of survival, they do have a need. They do need that financial assistance. Mm-hmm. They do, or they just are tired of being alone. So what they do is they will cater to your every whimsical need, and then once they feel like they got you in their pocket, you know, the tables turn a little bit. But that's why you should take the time to prove a friend. Mm-hmm. That's where the friend, prove that person. Don't just be like, oh, you know, she can cook and she can clean, she can, you know, keep it nice and warm and wet and this, that, and the third, and then next thing you know, it's easy to cook and clean.
Right.
If your mother
I was about to say for like the fake and the manipulative part, I do understand where he's coming from because, like you said, they do get out here and they got financial means and stuff. So it's a lot of women that's out here throwing it back, turning, flipping all them tricks
and being so
stuff, and being right and being disrespectful. But You know, like that's what the dudes see. They see, all you got to do is have sex with and throw a couple dollars to pay $40. That's where the $40 came from.
But guess what?
But they faking and they manipulating to get where they need and where they want to be. Y'all collecting for you. You sleeping with 4 different dudes, getting $40 when you can just go to work.
And guess what? You see them kind of men, I'm not even going to entertain you. That's
exactly.
I'm just not going to entertain you because your energy don't match mine.
If you the type of dude that will sleep with a chick and give her $40, then that means you think you going to sleep with me and give me $40, and I'm going to need more like $400 or $4,000.
I'm going to need, this is the thing, like, we're a team. So again,
I'm said, that doesn't make it right. Women always have an excuse.
She didn't.
No,
wait a minute. Let him.
Accountable. We have to take accountability for everything.
Now,
you have to take accountability.
Now listen, because that's exactly what I was gonna say. So with Real Deal, right? What is the name?
Real Deal.
Okay, Real Deal. Thank you for that comment. So, let me give this disclaimer. This show does not exist because we bash men. This show exists because women are not the women that we should be in our community, amongst our men, amongst our societies, with one another, etc. So, knowing that, we have to still reach out to the other side too. Tonight we're talking about how the games that men play and how, your friend zone, etc., and what we can do to put ourselves in position to be wifed up. So remind you, these women on this panels, ain't nobody playing games. She been single 5 years. She been single 6. I've been widowed 2.5. So we know exactly what we want. But that goes back to, again, taking accountability. You can't say that women are making excuses when Jessie just said, I can see where you're getting that from because I have friends that do that. Right. Ashley just said the same thing. And I completely agree. However, these type of women and us are what? Not the same.
Two different
colors. So knowing that, you have to understand where you stand at. Just like I told Blacker USA, you have to understand where you at this point. What is the energy you putting out to attract those type of women that are manipulative, that they're lying, that they want you to be the prize? Because this is why I was saying when Champ said that how can we be the prize when the ratio is 14-1? Exactly what you said is why we're the prize.
Right.
This is exactly why. I definitely hold myself to a different standard than the women that you're talking about, than the women that he was just talking about. But my obligation is to help the women that you are talking about to understand how to become the women that are sitting here. Amen. Let's be very clear on that, respectfully, because I'm definitely the first number one thing is being respectable to the head. It doesn't mean you the head of my house or this house or that house, because you are a man that was created first in the image of the Creator. My job is to respect you. Jesse's job is to respect you. Ashley's job is to respect you. So you're going to get the utmost respect before you get anything, but you're also going to get the truth from the women's side. This is the only way we can bridge the gap. This is the only way we can bridge the gap. I challenge you to wipe out all the women that you're talking about now. Start loving on yourself. Raise your vibration, and I guarantee you're going to find a wife. He who finds a wife finds what?
A good thing.
You're going to find a wife. What the reason?
He finds a gift.
Right. What is the next question? What was it?
Real Deal said, yes, thank you ladies for being honest about majority. And me to speak for men, you can't. But she followed by saying it's a reason for security. Because it is. It's a reason for everything. Yeah. You have to understand. Let me say it. Listen. So think about this, Real. Let's say. We have another question. Okay, we got another question. We better get to you. 1 second, please. Think about this. You're a man. You're a black man. I don't know where you live. It doesn't matter. Let's put you in. DJ, what's that game that used to have? What is that little one race car? That game that you used to have where the police come and you pick up those?
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto. Oh, right? No, Grand Theft Auto. Oh, no. enough. So GTA, Grand Theft Auto, when we first came or whatever. So let's set you in that environment, right? Because I don't want to just say you live. Let's say put you in the hood where you at or whatever. So 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be either a hustler, the runner, or a crackhead, or the police, or a stripper. Because you're the man, right? So you're gonna be trying to see where you fit in this situation. So let's say you good at hustling. You the plug, right? That's your survival, baby. That's your survival. You the plug. You good at being the plug. You know what I mean? So the women, however, like she said, does none of this do we agree makes it right to take advantage of a man. I'm solely against it because now we have to deal with the hurt man. And the hurt men give the women like us the worst problem. We don't deserve it.
The hardest.
We got, you know what I mean, bricks, and it's not my responsibility to break down your wall. I have a conversation, I have a sister, we talk, sis. It's not that man's responsibility to break your wall down. It's your responsibility to put your own wall down and start building a bridge.
And don't get into the dating game until you are emotionally ready to, because it's not his fault.
It's not. No, it's not.
That's a
What's
good
the
one.
First, Champ Lopez said, "How long have y'all been single?"
I just said, Champ, Ashley's been single 5 years.
After a 7-year relationship.
Jesse single 6
after a 7-year relationship.
Right. Me single 2.5 after a 16-year-old marriage. So the reason we are single is not because nobody wants us. If you get into that, it's because she's not settling. She know what love is. She's been raised in a household with her seeing it with her dad and I. Mm-hmm. Like she's the structure. Jesse,
my dad's still in my life, so I know what a man is supposed to do. My grandfather.
Right. We've had those male figures, so we know what to look for.
They're just not used to the old
but
structure.
You know what?
No way.
They can acknowledge that.
Yeah.
I've had men acknowledge that.
Yeah. They just
Chip also said the prize is always rare. It's too much women out here. Nothing is rare out here when it comes to women.
What are you talking about?
If you fishing and you can fish in the ocean, you can fish in the river, you can fish in the lake. You're gonna get different kind of fish.
Yes.
What body of water do you want?
Fish, beta
what
fish,
body of water do you want? I'm not a catfish, baby.
No.
Okay.
Well, I don't even eat catfish.
I don't eat catfish.
It's a body.
Where are you fishing?
Where are you fishing? Yeah. Where are you throwing?
He said you can find your bougie. You can find your bougie joints, your hood joints. Oh, it's nice thing falling. Your hood joints, your housewife joints, and the chicks that only want free meals.
Well, where's the lady?
But that's clearly why he's dating.
Where's the lady?
Okay,
he's speaking from experience. Clearly.
So let's see this.
That's what he dated.
Exactly what are you saying, or what are you getting to? Are you saying that because there's a plethora of women out here? Let's be clear. Before I moved here, all I would hear is, oh, there's no men in Atlanta. Like, most of the men are gay. Are they in prison? Or, it ain't a lot of men. I have yet, even while married, have yet to have a problem with finding a man like this. So I don't see the ratio. That's fine that the ratio exists. I'm not denying that. However, what I need to understand from Mr. Lopez is, where are you getting at? Are you devaluing women? Like, are you saying we now have no value in substance because of the energy that you've encountered? Is that what you're saying? So when he answers that question, Chris, y'all let me know. What's the next question?
Lakeisha said social media has really ruined our men.
Yes.
There's not anything wrong with being single. You know your worth. Social media has made it like there is something wrong with women because they are single. No, not the case.
Social media is ruining.
Real Deal said that's too long for y'all to be the good woman y'all claim to be.
That's not a claim, baby.
No. I've had options.
Hold on.
I've had options.
What did you say, DJ? Because he said
that's too long for y'all to be good woman y'all claim to be. Maybe y'all conditions and standards are too high at this age.
How about after my daughter's father, I had to work on me. Because I didn't want to go into another relationship with any baggages or any emotional luggage to put on anyone, because it wasn't his fault. So I took myself out the game. because I need to make sure I was where I needed to be to where I wouldn't penalize him for doing things that someone else did. So half of my time I spent working on me. And in between that time, I still had guys come and go as courting or being friends, but they just weren't
the fit.
They just weren't the fit. So no, you can't come to my house. No, you're not. That's where my children sleep.
Amen.
My children, their fathers. I have 2 kids with 2 different men.
Amen.
Yes, I do.
Me too.
Their fathers have already walked out on them.
Amen.
I'm not going to allow another man to come in, build a relationship with them, and then walk out. And then my children have to see a revolving door of men come, build relationships, and then leave.
Wait a minute,
that's not what I want.
Tons of questions.
So
guys.
what I do,
I love it.
Is I evaluate my friendships. That's what we like to call it nowadays. Right. So I'm single right now because I'm not going to say you're my boyfriend. I'm going to be single until I find someone who I can build a business plan with.
Absolutely.
Who I can continue to build my family with. Absolutely. Someone who I can, I like taking trips. Someone who has a passport.
Okay? We can't get passports these days.
Who have a passport. Or can even say, hey, Jessica.
I don't owe child support and can actually take your ass on.
Right.
Yeah, like, so you got to understand, I'm not bougie, but I do consider myself a person with standards. I do need to work on my accountability for some of, my lack of emotional intelligence in some areas concerning myself. But I'm not single because there's no one interested. I could read text messages. You ain't got no car. You ain't got no job. You won't get some. I'm not
going to pick you up.
So the claim, and then real. Had me again till he said the women we claim to be. So that's why I'm letting everybody say. And we get into the questions like, again, men, thank you. This is exactly what we need. I love the dialogue. I'm telling you, when we get on the network come spring, Ryan, I'm sure the network's working. We're going to have some of you guys on. This is going to be really good. So you can answer that.
And I was about to follow up behind Jessica because she's made a lot of valid points. Like, we're not single because we can't get nobody, or we're the good women and we just out here just playing holier than thou where we can't get nobody. We have a lot of people on our line all day, every day. But like my mom said, we know what we want. If you're not coming to us with what we want, you're getting scooted to the side because we don't have no time to play. We done been through the ups, the downs, the turnarounds. We at our point in our life where we humble enough to know that it's time to start a family. And if you can't show us that you're going to start that family, then you're not going to be a part of what we're trying to build. Even if you're trying to come in as a friend, a cuddy buddy or whatever the case may be. If I tell you like this is what I want in a relationship or dating or friendship, I need somebody who can teach my son how to be a man. I need somebody who can come in and teach me and my daughter how to deal with men and deal with a whole family dynamic together. I need a man to come in that's gonna show me that if the washer break down, even if you can't fix it, you gonna call somebody to fix it. Like, it's just certain stuff that we're gonna deal with that we're not gonna deal with. Like, we have friends, we have our little, you know what I'm saying, we get down or whatever, but it's just not the same no more. Like, everybody does not want their heart and their feelings played with, their mind played with, and a lot of women can pick up on bullshit right then and there. And then even if they pick up on it later, like, you just not gonna be able to play with that woman. We know exactly what we want.
So, see, this is the misconception, and I want to do it. I think, was it Lakeisha? Somebody was saying that social media has people thinking that when you're single, it's a bad thing. I'm going to mesh that in kind of as best as possible with what Real was saying, that's too long for people to be single for the women we claim to be. Now, before I heard that comment, I was going to deal with Lakeisha saying, we ain't gonna say we give some things too much fire. We put too much fuel to little fires and start fires. Social media does have a profound effect on a lot of things, but it really only has effect on what you allow it to have effect on. I could be around social media, and which I am, and as you see, we're on social media. I decide what affects my thinking and my mental capacity. I decide what I feed into my spirit and my soul. I decide what alters my thinking and shifts my paradigm. Okay. Is it healthy for us to be single for a long length of time? both of them are going to tell you that I've said to them once or more than once, no, it's not healthy for you to still be single. Because remind you what Jessica just said earlier, the man was created and we was created to do what? He was not supposed to be alone. So anytime a woman said, I don't need a man, I cringe when I hear that. That's why this, again, why this show exists. We absolutely need a man. Don't think because, her electric ain't off, her car note's paid, my utilities is still on, and we eating, that we don't need a man. This is just the basic essentials that have to be done with or without a man in the picture. You know what I mean? So don't get wrapped up in thinking you don't need a man. For one, we being honest, it's mentally unhealthy, it's physically unhealthy, it's emotionally unhealthy not to have a partner. Now let's just be honest, even if somebody's in the LGBTQ community or whatever, you still, it doesn't matter. Yep. Everybody needs somebody. This is why we were created, for one another. So I don't want nobody to think that it's okay for you to be single. My mom is single. I tell all the time, my mother's health is deteriorating. Yep. I mean, year by year. And you know why? She don't have a man. She does not have a companion. That's why you can have a companion animal. That's why they call them companion dogs, cats, whatever you vibe with. It's as serious. Solitary imprisonment is effective because it leaves you alone. That's not healthy, y'all. Like, it's not healthy. So while we sitting up here trying to think that we can run these streets and do whatever, then turn around and be 50, 51, got somebody, you know what, I feel like you my wife. I bet you do it. 51 got to be 52. But I'm not. You should have been thinking about that when you was more vibrant. Now you ready to go to bed at 9 o'clock. Well, I'm not. Right. So those are the games. See, let's get ahead of the situation before it becomes a snowball effect. Then back to the real deal. It's not a claim. This is one thing. Somebody claiming to do something or be something or what have you, and a track record, one is gonna make it and one is not. The track records are sufficient on this panel. First thing I don't do is put anybody on the panel. Let's be clear about that. And the second thing I do, I take my advice highly seriously. I take it very seriously. This is another passion of mine. This is another void that needs to be filled. So we're not just up here just to be talking and not even walking what we talk. What we say right here is exactly how we live behind this camera. Amen. Any guy that's even been close enough to be in my space can say, you know what? That is definitely Tanya. That is definitely Ashley. That is definitely Jessica. You know what I mean? Like, you can say that. I am single, baby, because I'm a widow, unfortunately. Trust and believe. Had my husband not just died 2.5 years ago, I would still be a wife. Me and my husband and then us would be having these conversations with you. We had conversations with married couples. We was the youngest ones saving marriages. This is what we believed in. So it's a track record. These women know what they want. This not about having high standards. She's asking for what they're asking for is the general. Right. Protection, love. You know what I mean? Like, we're not, nobody's asking for, again, I said this earlier, we're not chilly sitting up here. Right. We ain't got a list. I don't even have a list. I'll be honest. I don't have a list. Baby. You have a list? I just asked you to respect me. I have prayers. Right. I got some prayers. Just respect me and respect my kids, respect my family, my mother. Like, come with grace and poise. Like, everybody don't have to be like, oh, what's up? I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the new dude and all that. No, like, I'm single because I went through stuff that wasn't supposed to happen. Like, you know, like, some people get damaged along the way trying to love people. So when you get damaged along the way, when you just trying to give that other person love, because I told my son's daddy, I'm falling out of love with you, dude. Like, I don't know how to love you no more. You took everything I had in me for me to love you, so then I had to give it back to myself. But until I heal everything within myself to make me angry and make me, like,
get back to the point to where like, damn, I really don't want to date nobody. I had to fight through that, like all the time, to understand that there is somebody out there for me. This year has taken me to the point to where I had to love myself more in order to love somebody else.
Yep.
Which is real why women are single. When you want a type of woman that understands that she has to work on herself first, even with being a widow. Like they're saying, I had to work on getting through the hurt and pain. They have to work on hurt and pain from past relationships. All of our pains are just slightly different pains, but nevertheless, pain hurts. The hurt is relevant. So you don't want a damaged woman. You don't want a bag lady coming into your life bringing all these issues. So respect the woman that has enough common sense to say, you know what? I need to work on me. I need to work on me. Yeah. I have work to do on me before I try to come into your life and blow your shit up. Because that's what's going to happen. Next question.
And then, like, I'm an earth sign, so I have to strategize first. Like, I'm an overthinker, so I'm like, oh, he's doing it.
You should say, wait. You want to go all the way back up?
Yeah, I don't want to leave nobody out if I don't have to.
Yeah.
So just read them really quick.
You read them over here?
No, he hasn't. They coming from all over.
You know, it don't have nothing to do with the conversation right now.
What is it? Just read it. Respectfully, we have time. We'll make time.
Dallas Cross said, "I'm sorry, I have to disagree with you, bro. You never know what a woman is going through,
Scott,
and how long it's going to take for them to get right."
Exactly.
That's what he said to Real Deal. The Real Deal said, "Aggie, all this typing. No social media has women normalize sexual energy. We're physical beings, and you ask for respect, but you a lot of degrading things. Women pay to get their flaws covered up and reinvented. They selves like their biologic clocks."
I wish we could get away from that. Like a lot of women are trying to cover up their flaws. A lot of women do have surgery to cover up their flaws, but a lot of us are not. Like, you can't put everybody in the same category, because you have women out here that are literally completely natural. Y'all ask for a natural woman, then y'all get a natural woman, and then now everybody's the same. Like, y'all have to get out of that. Whatever women y'all dealing with are the ones having surgery.
And then let's
like
be
every woman's not out here.
Even
doing
if
that.
they are, these are coming from the opinion of men. The same very men that when you see a girl with a fat ass, that's where you at. Right. When you see her with big titties, breasts, that's where you at. When you see so let's take accountability. I don't care what surgery any woman's paid for, and men are getting surgery too. Let's be clear. Them abs is not real, baby. Right. They not real.
Them hairs,
however,
mustaches.
Right. However, whatever makes that person feel good about themselves and make them happy, who are we? Right. You know what I mean?
But have you gotten past the outer appearance?
Right. Exactly. Who are we?
But if it was something that you want to do with yourself, if it was your hairline, you wanted braids, you wanted fro, you wanted dreads. Right. That's alteration. Right. I was about to say that's alteration. That's no different than if it's surgery or not.
That's no different than a boy's toy. Men want Corvettes. They want Elderbrox 360s. Like, that's no different. You know what I mean? That's a part of something about you that you feel like is going to enhance you as a person. And it's okay. Let's talk about, what does she have to offer you? What type of woman is she? Or what does he have to offer? What type of man is he? Does he have requirements? Like, no, they clearly does no requirements. So I'm going to set a list of what you need to ask, because there is some first date. Next week we're going to do some first date questions, because you all are really falling for the okie doke. Sorry.
Yes,
y'all are. Because the women that y'all describing, we know them. We know them all too well.
How long have you had a conversation with her before you came physical?
Right.
When did you get involved with her before you realized maybe she's not?
A lot of them just jumping in bed the same night. I'm sorry. After the first week, couple days, they jump.
And listen again.
But that's why we not.
It's the energy.
But my thing is, you can still have a decent conversation even if you're not in the bed.
Exactly.
At least lay in the bed.
Well, again, we're getting away from what rules all of this. Energy, vibration.
Yes.
I spent 16 years with a man I slept with the first night.
That's what I'm saying.
16 years.
That's what
So
I'm saying.
it was just that connection. That was something that was beyond probably most people said this is a whole nother metaphysics type thing we're not gonna get into. But again, let's take accountability for what we're attracting. When I was at my lowest, which is why Jesse and Ashley, a lot of things I did knowing that this is where I was going back in the direction of coaching, relationship coach, life coach, things like that. A lot of the dating I did online, I went out on dates for 2 weeks straight to gather information. Dates, they was coming like, I don't even know how y'all do it. I gained like 5 damn pounds and I was tired of shit. Like it was a full-time job. Just going to eat and talk and listening and get, you know what I mean? But listen, we have to take accountability. I was vibrating so low.
Both men and women.
What men and women? We said I have to take accountability. I tell the women all the time. Today, I'm telling you, men, take accountability. You don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. If you're getting a woman that does not meet what you consider the standards of the woman you want to take home to your mother, you got to see who you are and check yourself and call it. So, listen, before we go, because I think we've been on 2 hours. Yeah. This is amazing. Questions. Ashley wants to read this. Okay, and then we'll read Ashley's question. I ain't get to all the questions on our side, but this is interesting.
Champ, he had a lot to say.
Oh, Champ had a lot to say.
Let's hear it, Champ.
Even right.
Y'all remember those categories he was talking about, the bougie joints?
Yeah.
He said
Speak up so y'all can hear you.
Every female falls in one of those categories. Then he said, no, I'm saying it's too easy to find any type of female out here. That's why I'm saying it's impossible for the female to be the prize. Where those, it's hard to find the right man. Hence the reason y'all been single forever.
Who said that, Champ? We've been single forever. Like, did you not hear the scenarios? And I haven't been.
Right.
I mean, forever is forever. Like, you gotta understand. See,
are you single or are you taking? Because
I got one right now.
Casually dating.
He's flaky.
Right, he's casually dating or dating like he's not.
I don't know, Champ. Listen, so what you're saying then is, a woman needs to just take anybody just so she can say she has a man.
No,
that's what it basically. That's what you're saying. Because these women, we're sitting here telling you why we're single. You know what I mean? First of all, there's no way I'm going to be an amazing wife for 16 and a half years and then just take a dude that
don't mean nothing.
Listen,
we're still dating.
If we wasn't on lives, we could just talk for 2 hours.
You still get some, right?
Yes.
I mean, not all the time, but I'm just saying, like, even though we single, when we really want to get out there and like, okay, I want him for the night, or I want him for the week. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? We could go out there and get somebody, but right now there's nobody that's literally on our complete level where they.
And I want to say it's nobody.
I don't cuff you.
We just have not. It's just not the fit right now.
It's not time.
Now that everybody's in their place where you're happy with yourself, you love yourself, you're happy with yourself, you love yourself. I'm happy with myself. I love myself. Now. We are now in position to go seek out our counterpart. We're not the type of women that's going to come to you any kind of way. So that's completely different. Yes, we have options. We have proposals. I have proposed. But just because you propose and you want to be my man don't mean I'm going to be your man. She's going to be your woman. She's going to be a woman like... This is not how this works.
Can we have, I want somebody I can have conversation about various things. I want to talk about the metaverse. I want to talk about the Central Land. I want to talk about buying land in the Central Land. I want to talk about the SIAC that's going on. I want to talk about current events. I want to talk about Megan Thee Stallion. I want to talk about, let's have a biblical conversation. Right. Can I find someone that can match my energy and the conversation keep rolling and keep rolling. Or we just gonna sit there and stare at each other's face.
Our only thing you have in common is sex.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not a lasting relationship. What else Champ have to say? Champ, I listen to what the women are saying, Kings. with all due respect, listen to what the women on the panel are saying.
I want to do an Airbnb, a bed and breakfast. I want to do a bed and breakfast in West Africa. There are 7 black beaches up and down the Atlantic coast that I want to buy property in. Can I have a conversation?
Right.
Can someone give me 4 other 7 black beaches? I want somebody that can.
But they don't even have their own 5-year plans, 3-year plans, 2-year plans. They not structured like we are right now. But I can say if they in their 40s and older, yes,
some of them still aren't.
But it's more. But what I'm saying is, it's more of them who understand what they want and where they going in life. Anything that's between the age of 30 and 40, they playing.
Forget about it, right?
It's all about Alice in Wonderland going down the rabbit hole right now.
What is it, Chris?
This is from Champ, and he said this is a question for Ashley. He said, when you say you have friends, are you talking about friends with benefits or just friends or guys that take you on dates?
Well, ain't nobody.
It's both. I got friends. I got friends with benefits, and I got friends that take me on dates. But because I'm single, I pick and choose what friend I want to hang out with. If you going to be my friend and we got kids as a man and we going to the park and we going fishing, we doing all that, ain't no sex involved. We just kicking it like we like friends, like family of the friend. Like that's what that part is. But then if I got friends with benefits, I know that, hey, I just left the club. What you doing? Are you coming over? Because we know at that point, we only gonna have sex with each other. Ain't nothing else to talk about. You know I want you to flip me over and bend me backwards, and I know I want to sit on it. End of discussion. Like, it's just what it is. And then the friends just being friends, like, it really about how y'all sit down and conversate. And
everybody has a mutual understanding, I guess.
Like,
so now, everybody's in a different place. You know what I mean? What is the next one? We between 30 and 45 on this panel.
And he said more than one friend with benefits? Question mark.
No, because I know how to protect myself. I know
do you have more than one friend with benefits?
I know how to protect myself, and I've been there. I've been there. I'm about to be 31. I've been a preteen. I've been a teenager. I've been a teeny bopper. I've been an adult. So I know there's no reason for me to be hopping and skipping and jumping to each dude that just want to be friends with benefits. I'm going to pick the best one that's going to give me the best sex, because when I'm ready to let loose, I'm ready to let loose. And then after that, that's just what it is. I don't need 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different men to bust the same nut. It's not happening. No. I'm going to pick the one that I know that is going to make me shake and quiver, and that's it.
Right. What else here to say? Anybody else say anything? Say the Champ. Is that what our Champ had to say? DJ, what you got going on?
Okay, so I'll read this question. Lakeisha said, yes, someone that can teach you and you teach them. Yes, intelligence is attractive.
Yeah, it's
intelligence is
that, and understanding where you set in your planetary alignment, baby. Looking good, smelling good, tasting good. That's what I'm looking for.
You never judge a book by its cover, because I'm telling you, it'll be the best book you ever read sometimes.
Oh, no, I'm not. My covers.
I just had a conversation with someone. I invited 3 people to meet me at one spot. 2 all showed up, couldn't get in because of the dress code. But my friend was like, you want to invite all 3 of them? Show up.
Yeah.
I told one, you can't show up in a hoodie and some sweatpants. Do you see what I got
on?
Right. If we want to take a picture, they'll be like, did y'all know y'all was going to the same place?
Right.
He's
coming from the gym.
But I mean, we get that honestly. My granny did that. My granny would have 3 men sitting on the couch, and that was granddaddy 1, granddaddy 2, and granddaddy 3. And they all sat on the couch, and they all got along, and they all talked, and they all made sure everything was taken care of. Granny wasn't missing no bills, no meals, no car payments. Do you hear me? So even if you do have friends with benefits, or friends that's just friends or whatever, y'all all are grown enough to know what understanding y'all putting amongst each other. So if you know he's friends and friends of the family, that's what it is. If you know he's friends and he's friends with benefits, that's what it is. If y'all just friends and y'all kicking it, whatever, It's just what it is. Everybody's grown enough to understand what they're doing, and everybody's grown enough to speak up and say, I don't want to be your girlfriend or your boyfriend. I just want to be your cuddy buddy. I don't want to be your girlfriend or your boyfriend. I just want to be friends because we're not at that level. I don't feel like we should be more than friends. Or yes, I do want to be your girlfriend or your boyfriend or someday your husband or wife. So everybody's old enough to understand how to open their mouth and talk.
Yeah.
A lot of people
We
just
adults.
don't. What is it?
He said, do you have to have 5 of them just to see which one is best, or do you just narrow it down to 1 out of 5?
It's not a number.
This is not a numbers game.
This is
the courting stage. This is the courting stage. So
I can't take myself and put myself in a box with a man who doesn't mean me any good. I'm doing injustice to myself. And these 3 guys they are all getting to know me. If Jessica, what you doing? I'm going so and so. I want to see you. Well, if you would like to see me, I'll be at this particular location at this particular time.
Right.
You are more than welcome to come and show up.
Exactly.
Did they show up?
But ain't no different than
men do this all the time.
And I'm not hugging you. I'm not. Well, I'll embrace you.
Hey, how you doing?
But y'all ain't my cuddy buddies. I'm trying to figure out
which one of you guys fit. Okay, everybody has their different way of seeing what fits for them. Some, what fits for Ashley, how she plan and how she maneuver ain't gonna work for Jessica. It's a little different. Her structure's different. The way her structure is not gonna be the same for me. And however, some of us do have the same structure, because to be honest, there's only so many different structures you can form. You know what I mean? Period. For me, right now, where I'm at, I have a very good judge of character before we even get to that point. There's some things intuitively that I look for, I feel, and I see to narrow it down as much as possible. Now, the only thing I can say in my situation is it gets risky when you narrow it down to one person. Like Jesse said, why would I'm doing myself a disservice? I asked you, I don't know where we going. However, that's just the way right now I'm maneuvering. I've maneuvered another way, right? So once I look, because now I need a tunnel vision and focus on what his intentions really are. How are we moving? And guess what? At some point in time, there's going to be a higher level of commitment being done. There's going to be some steps moving forward, or it's off with your head. You know what I mean? Because I know what I want. Everybody on this panel knows what they want. Yes, we're independent, self-sufficient, because I don't even like to use the word independent. Self-sufficient women that understand that we still need a man. There's different attributes and aspects that a man brings into a household, just like there's different things a woman brings into a household. But when you remove one of those energies, the house is never completely a home again until that energy is back in there. You know what I mean? So what we should be doing is trying to figure one another out to the point where we can grow together, build together, and establish legacies and empires together collectively. It ain't no men ain't this and men not that. That's a lie. It ain't enough women ain't prizes, they not trophies and this. That's a lie. These are all of our opinions and perspectives of what our past situations have been. So the first thing we have to do is do exactly what us 3 did. We worked on ourselves. Had they not worked on themselves, they would be some jacked up women that I would be saying, you need to get off the dating scene because you're not ready. You need to get off the dating scene because you're not ready. I don't need to be dating or seeing anyone because I'm not ready. And most of the time it's emotional damage. It's traumas from childhood. These are things that nobody really wants to deal with, which is the ugly truth that separates the connectivity between the male and female. And I see clearly that the men don't understand that part by the comments that's been coming in with respectfully again, with you, champ, and then real. Y'all don't understand how women of structure, substance, and character can work on themselves before coming and try to invent and plant themselves into your life. If we're planting bad seeds, we come into your life, we're going to be rotten and you're going to yield a bad product, a bad tree, a bad plant, a bad flower. Whatever it is you're trying to grow is not going to grow.
I was just going
You know what I mean? So let's be clear and understand where we coming from with one another before we just lash out and say, oh, you know, you claim to be this, or you single too long, you did. There's a lot of times that we don't have, there's no time on self-healing and love and hurt. There's no number for that.
Especially when you ain't give yourself the time to heal. Like, I've been dating since I had my kids. Like, I went from Armaya's daddy to Dre's daddy to my teenage love. And, you know, like, after that, I felt like, yes, I was seeing other people and dating people after I moved to another state, trying to open myself back up. But I realized from the time that I got started, from my younger age, knowing what a boyfriend was and growing up having a boyfriend to having a live-in boyfriend to having kids and the cheating and this and the fight and all that, I never gave Ashley that time to actually figure out who Ashley was.
Exactly.
So and what I was going on. So I can't date nobody if I don't know who
you don't know who you are to yourself. You don't know what you're looking for.
Right.
And again,
go ahead.
Listen, what we won't do, and I'm going to always say respectfully because it's with the utmost respect, is allow a man to tell me that I'm not worth what I know I'm worth. This is the reason why we're single, because I'm not settling for what you think I should be for you or what you think I have to offer you. I understand who Tanya is. I understand Tanya's work. I understand the work that I've put in for myself, and it's not just for myself. So I could be the best wife version of me I can be for my next mate. So for a man to come and say, that's no different than a man telling me last week, well, you know, you exceptional, you different. You'll never find the love you had before. I ain't taking that, just like I'm not the prize. I'm absolutely the prize because I don't walk around the same way as why we're the prize.
Yeah. But a lot of people have to hide themselves who they are in relationships.
With that being said, is it safe to say at least two of y'all fall in the category of just there for the meal? I say that respectfully.
Please let me. I love my champ. I do.
Yes, he's not done. What?
Then he said, because women know by the second date if you see a future with the man, but if women rather date the same guy for 8 months while dating other people.
Like I said, he's speaking from experience.
Like you're choosing the wrong women. Go ahead, Jesse.
Yeah.
Let me let you know, champ. One thing, first things first. Before I go out on a date, best believe whatever I order on the menu, I can buy.
Okay,
right.
I can buy it, and I can probably buy yours too. However, the feminine side of me
is not going to do that.
It's going to sit back because guess what? I feel like we all have our roles in a relationship. Now, I don't go out just for the dates. The reason why I go out in these public places, we can go to Starbucks. We can go to Panera Bread. We can go to the park.
We go to the
mall. Whatever. That's where I was. And he wanted to see me because he didn't properly plan a date for me. So when you randomly hit me up, I'm going to take myself out because, you know, I don't want to be in the house counting the paint. That's already, counting the time for the paint that's already dry to dry.
Right.
I want to get out. So instead of sitting around here waiting on somebody to take me out, I'll take myself out. And if you call me, you say, hey, I want to meet you. All right, I'm at this restaurant.
Right.
You want to come through or you don't want to come through? It's up to you. And like I said, I invited 3. None of them showed up. Who you think paid for my meal?
I think when I hear this meal thing a lot, again, take accountability. And 9 times out of 10, who's asking to go eat? Because if you the last thing I want to do, and I've had dudes be like, oh, well, let's go out to eat. So I'm like, can we do anything other than go eat? Because a baby like me, like I can feed myself. Every day I know I need 3 meals and 2 snacks. And I only eat once a day anyway. However, I'm not going to wait on a man to feed me to eat once a day. Now in the wintertime, it get dark at 6 p.m. Guess when I'm eating? Tomorrow when the sun come back up. So dating like these
you can't come to my house and Netflix and chill. I'm sorry.
These things is going on with the meals and the things like that is like crazy. Asking out, they like minute little things. Again, this is how you know what type of woman it is. Are you initiating going to eat and the date, or did she? Because I know, however, I don't never be like, well, let's go out to eat.
I'm eating.
We carry up.
I like bowling.
Like,
like comedy shows, I like poetry.
If you're trying to date somebody, what is the intention when you get with these women? Because what's happening is a lot of people are dating just so they can entertain, be entertained, have sex, have something to talk about. Yeah, I had old girl telling me I met no dude, he was fine, this and that, and the third. There's no substance or structure behind it. So dating with a purpose is different. Courting is different. A higher level of commitment is different, which is exclusive relationship, just like marriage. These are all different parts of the playing field. What is it? You said truth. So, what?
He said, y'all not getting this point. Can you join to explain it better?
He can come on. Now, what?
If y'all wanted to join, y'all, you had to do was say that. But we definitely understand everything that you're saying.
We may do something Saturday.
And the thing is, we understand that you're speaking from experience, because a lot of things that you're saying is for something that has happened to you, versus just like when we respond, we're speaking from experience. But yeah, we ain't those you gonna just pull up on us and get a meal, because I'm gonna cook myself.
I'm gonna ask
you, have you ate?
Yeah, that's what women do.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna ask you, have you ate? Let me show you that I can cook. Let me show you that you can come over, and ain't just no little plain steak, eggs, and salads or none of that. Like, we making real deal buffet meals around here, and we setting the plates, making sure you got your drinks and everything. So, like, do not put us in the same category as a woman that just gonna pull up and eat, because us is gonna buy your meal too. If
I call you like, hey, you want to lunch? Let's go here. If I initiate it, it's because I have interest in you.
Just like they want to be able to them to initiate.
And so we can show y'all too that just what you're saying, chapter. Everybody ain't in it for a meal. Like, tell them girls, call me. Let me give them a gift card or something. Like, because this is just, at this point, it's ridiculous.
I'll take you. I will randomly pop up and give you a massage. I'll give you a date to the spa. We
definitely inbox me. We'll definitely do something. I think we're doing family.
I can cater to you.
Right. So that's our job. We just said it. Yeah. What do you like? Whatever you like. What's the last? This is next to last.
I don't know. This, out of all these chords, this chord is like, read me. Like, this chord was like, have you ever used an online dating site? If so, tell me your worst experience with it. So if you ever dated online, what was your worst experience?
So I have two friends that were co-workers and they became best friends. They both dated online and they both are married to the guys that they met online.
Right.
Beautiful, perfect relationship. So they encouraged me to set up a profile. I'm a traditional person. I believe in traditional meeting people, but the world we live in is just not as traditional as I would like it to be. So I did this online dating. And I talked to the guy on the phone, and the conversations are we can have conversations on various topics. So conversations are very diverse. This man invites me out to Chipotle. It's cool. We go to Chipotle. I bought my meal. He bought his meal. We ate at a park. It was great. He was like, you know what? Normally this is where I would leave the woman. I'm like, oh, for real? That's how we do? Right. He said, yeah, but I like you and I want to continue, the date with you. He said, are you interested? I said, is that customary? I don't know. Right. So I was like, okay, let's go. We went to Dave & Buster's. And he was like, I really like you. And he just automatically wanted to just move in like he was my man. Wait, we done went to Chipotle. We done went to the park. We went to Dave & Buster's. My lips not going to touch your lips. I don't like you like that yet. Now, I have kissed someone on day one, but I didn't like him like that. This fool had the nerve to call me and get upset because I wasn't available the next day he wanted to see me. I was on the phone with my homegirl, and she was like, you can go see him? I was like, I don't really want to go see him. I'm just not feeling him. He called me. He was like, you know what? I felt the energy was off. So I'm going to hope you can find what you're looking for and wish you the best. Click.
But it's some dudes that
you got raggedy cloth seats in your car, tearing and falling apart. You got a fanny pack on that you wear in the front. I don't know what you had on, and I was being nice, doing you a favor, going out being nice to you.
Right, trying to be nice to you, buddy.
And a lot of them men out there are listening to these online dating gurus, and you're gonna try to run some online dating guru to me, baby. I am 39 years old. I know what
they need to stop listening to him. I'm gonna tell y'all right now.
I know my flaws, and I do have some flaws. I need a man that I can talk to about my flaws, and he can help me overcome my flaws. Exactly. And I can do the same thing because we are human and we are imperfectly
perfect. And
I am not perfect. But if we can sit down and I say, hey, this is where I'm weak. You don't just dismiss me when you live with 5 other Negroes.
Right.
I can't come to your house and chill.
He got roomies?
He had roomies. Had the nerve to dismiss me. I was like, I can't do this online dating. These niggas, they don't have their life together. How you on a date and you don't even have your own?
That's why the women sit there and not okay. So your question, so you can wrap it up. What was yours?
Mine's OMG, and my brother knows about this, and my sister. I met somebody, and he had a clothing line, everything, like he was popping. I went to go meet him. Y'all,
I know
he looked good from the front. Everything was straight. I mean, everything. He was fine and everything. But he came out to get me. We were supposed to meet up and go have drinks and stuff like that. And he was like, well, come in for a second. I got to grab some stuff before we go. This man turned around, y'all. And his whole back was like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Do you hear me?
Oh.
It was like this. And I was like, how the hell did you have that in the pictures?
Baby.
But when I tell you, I was like, he was cool and everything, but I'm just like, this is something that you should have told me. You should have shown me. And I had my brother, I said, 911, call me and tell me that Maya Dre is acting a fool so I can go home. And he called me, he was cracking up, like, Maya Dre, they not listening to me. But I was out of there. I was like, it's just like Hunchback Notre Dame 2021. Oh, wow. I have never. And I did ask him, I'm like, he did tell me, but you going in the house, you chilling, the pillows all the way at the end of the bed. You got to sit on the couch at the end of the bed to relax your hump. And he just like it's the whole time.
Oh, wow.
But until he turned around, you don't see this hump.
Oh, my God.
And I mean, it was huge.
See, you gotta let people know stuff like that.
And I didn't want to do that. Like, I literally skidded off so fast. The last time I did that on somebody, meeting them at the club and met him the next day, he looked like Ninja Turtle, so I left so fast. I busted my tire, like, on the way home. I'm 5 minutes from home and I'm driving with this tire smacking the car. Because I'm getting off his E-way. But for him to come out and have that, I was like, DJ, like, oh my goodness, like, I never, like, that was the worst I never online dated after that.
Yeah,
after that, I was done.
I don't know how to meet people.
I don't have, and I don't know, and I gotta set up somebody's account tomorrow. I'm gonna set up, and I encourage my homegirls. I'm gonna say Bumble.
Okay.
I like Bumble.
I saw one of my homeboys. Like, Bumble? You know nobody.
So, I haven't had, I'm trying to think, like, gratefully, I haven't had the worst, because see, let me tell y'all, I don't know, that you ain't gonna like it, but I do a lot of talking. Like, or like I don't, when I was going on dates like a year and a half ago, it was so I could gather how the man was thinking. So I haven't been out like that. Like I keep the ass online. So like if I'm not feeling it,
I will keep you online.
If we get past the online stage, oh baby, you on to something, okay? I felt that energy. So I've had 3 total that made it offline. They were in none of the process. They're not bad. One, we're cordial, we cool, like we talk like we don't talk a lot, but now I don't talk a lot because I'm trying to seriously find somebody else. I don't need him like in my energy like that. But we're cool, you know what I mean? No relationship, nothing, cool. The second one, we dated for like 4 months, maybe 4 months. And he was trying. I was like, that ain't quite my type. And the other one, we'll see what happens.
Right.
I don't even go.
We set up an account. We getting off y'all because I just set up Jesse's account. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I don't date like I don't.
Your profile be like, what about?
I zone in like
I had since I've been in Georgia. I can say I have met a lot of great dudes.
There's some good men. There's some good
that I actually carry the relationships for a while. Like. And we still friends to this day, but now there's no sexual part about it or anything like that. It's just being cordial and being friends because they were good men. They just weren't good enough for me and what I wanted in life. Like, it's okay to chill and cuddy buddy and all that for a while, but after that,
bro, we ain't gonna listen. Hey, homegirl, I'm gonna listen. I'm on a mission, and it ain't to be your damn friend. I don't need any friends. We still have questions. We can continue that. We'll need no new friends. So, gentlemen, men, we didn't get to like, because the men, hey, you men was on fire tonight. Yes. So let's give it up for the men. Y'all was on fire. I love it. I love it. I love it. So we may see what's going on because I do try to do a hot seat. And we may put the guests in the hot seat. Everybody in the panel might have to be in the hot seat. So stay tuned. We may do that Saturday. If we can do it Saturday. And we can get to some of these other questions. The network had questions that he didn't get. He had some really good questions. I'm actually going to close with this question.
5 of them, didn't we?
If you're with a guy planning for a year and a half and he says, so listen, you're with a guy planning for a year and a half and he finally says, I have a plan for us, and he shows you the plan and it says in 4 to 5 years you guys will get engaged and a year from then get married. What do you do?
At this point in my life, I've dated for 7 years, a few times. But,
right.
You know what you want. And it doesn't take 4. If you are planning this, what's the hesitations? Right. Because at this point, we either going to do it or you're not going to do it. Because there are other things we could be building in these 4 years. I'm not going to build with somebody I'm not with. Other than a friendship.
And then he's had a year and a half.
Right, that's what I was about to
say.
That
he was playing.
It's already been a year and a half. And then you want me to wait another
4 to 5 years to get engaged and 5 to get married.
So if we're not engaged by the second, third year, then we're not getting engaged. I'm not saying it like that, but I'm just saying, like, who wants to literally waste all that time? After a year, you already know if you want to engage to me. Right. After a year and a half, you already know if you want to get. So if you got to that year and a half and you like, yeah, I want to get engaged to you, I'm still not going to wait 4 or 5 more years. By that time, we could be married, have a house, new business, kids, all of that stuff. Like, I'm not saying I'm rushing it, but with the fact that I've already waited and waited and waited, I don't see me waiting another 4 to 5 years after we already been together almost.
So it's a done deal for both of y'all.
Yes.
And I'm gonna say the same thing I've done. I put a limit. Cause see, again, people only do what you allow them to do. So I don't believe in staying with people 7, 10 years, 15 years, never been married.
Right.
Like, no, we're not doing that. What you see, DJ? You see something. So if we are together 1.5 years, and with them,
about y'all, but I think they're fighting in the comments.
They're fighting in the comments. Yay! We can listen to them comments. I mean, not like that, but it's the action. Men, verbalize. I can bring y'all on. We can have these conversations. A year and a half, you plan. Now you serious, and you come to me with a 4 to 5 year plan. Well, me and my late husband, when he proposed to me, we had been together 2 years, maybe. Actually, we was together, and Nigel was like 9 months, and I end up just, he was playing. I was out of there. I left Derek's ass. So out of 16 years, 6 months, we wasn't a couple. I pulled my energy back because what was gonna happen is he tall, he dark, he handsome, he was 1, 2, 3%. You're not handling me any kind of way, bro. Again, champ, I am the prize. Okay, let's be clear on that. So when I pull my energy back, I'm gonna give you time to play out here in the rat, get in this rat race, go on in this cesspool. Do you
find another me?
And if because there is no other me, right? The God made me, he only made one of me. When he made you, he only made one of you. So when he come back, we end up getting back together, he proposed that following, I think, Valentine's Day or something, and my birthday's in February. And he came and he was like, he giving his spiel, and he's like, so yeah, you know, if in 5 years we haven't grown together, built this and that, etc., you know, then we'll agree to go our separate ways. And I was cool with that. Well, we together. I'm cool with that. Like, we're building within this 5 years. We're in a relationship. Well, that was right before the proposal. So what it was, then he asked me to marry him. So it was like, if we hadn't established any growth in 5 years of being married, then we would be divorced. You know what I mean? So at that time, I'm thinking in the relationship, in my head, already thinking, and bro, I think I'm going to stay. This man think I'm going to stay in a relationship for 5 years without being wifed up. That wasn't going to happen either. But, you know, he knew me. He knew because I had boundaries before then. When I get into a relationship, the next time it's going to be, hey, you know, just like Champ said, women know within the first year. No, we know hella long to be quicker than that.
The first day
I knew when I seen my husband, I was like, that's my husband right there. I married the man. He hadn't even said hello to my black ass. My energy, I could feel it. So I don't, you know, if you know your characteristics, you know if you generally pick the wrong woman, you might want to sit back and start working on yourself and figuring out, because 9 times out of 10 you're gonna pick the wrong woman. If you generally pick the wrong bad boys or the wrong men, you might want to do a lot more work. For me, I do the way I see people and the way I look and where I'm looking into them internally, I don't make really bad decisions. Even the options that I have, I could pick one and do very well if that's what I wanted to do. So it's not like it takes forever. Yeah, it's some traits and some things you want to see, but people, unbeknownst to them, show you who they really are without even knowing that they're showing you who they really are. We're all testing each other. We're in a beta stage. That's what it's called when you're trying to try out something. The beta stage. However, I gather a lot of information in the beta stage. Yep. You gather a lot. So no, I'm not waiting, homeboy. We're not doing that 4 or 5 years from now. You're either going to propose to me within the next 6 months, because I already been fucking with you for 1.5 years. You wasting my time, and there's somebody else that really want to be with me. It's simple. When we get engaged, and I can see waiting a year during engagement, because we asked her, I want my shit right. I didn't even get a year when Derek proposed. We proposed in January. We got married in July. I was like, I need a year. He was like, no, ma'am. Yeah. He was like, no, ma'am. July 7707. That's when we get married. My ass fell in line and said, okay, I have to make it work.
Right. We all
You know what I mean? So, yeah. So with that being said, interesting. We're all saying, no, we're not waiting for you after 1.5 years of playing games. We're going to set boundaries. And tonight the boundaries are, we're friend knows no friends. We're not playing the friend game. Either we're dating, courting, or going to a higher level of commitment. And during dating is how you find out if we're going to match on more than a friendship level. Because we don't need to be friends. We're intimate. We're not friends. We're courting. So
it's just breathing disgusting.
Right. Let's stop the games, fellas. Let's stop the games, ladies. And let's see what's going on Saturday. And it was long. We've been on here a long time. The creative director's not here tonight. She usually be tapping us out. Conversations was going. Y'all was flowing. So we have ladies' night at Pseudos. So I think we're all looking cute and fabulous. We're going to singles night at Pseudos tonight, where we will start hopefully filming the shows in the next coming weeks. So I have an appointment with them tomorrow. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing. No fighting on Facebook, man. Right. I'm going to be reading these messages. We're going to get to these messages. Yep. Yeah.